Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of Closer Encounters. I am your host, Clarence Mitchell, coming to you live from somewhere, Minnesota. Would you like to be a guest on Closer Encounters? Or maybe you know someone that would like to be a guest on Closer Encounters. Or maybe you have a story to share. Well, please shoot us an email, closerencounters.info@gmail.com. Again, that's closerencounters.info@gmail.com. For everything, Closer Encounters, updates, all things going on, check us out, www.facebook.com/Closer Encounters Radio. Again, www.facebook.com/Closer Encounters Radio. And please don't forget to like, follow, and share. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Closer Encounters. Oh, it's been a hectic kind of day today. I've been running around doing all kind of crazy stuff, and I wanted to get this show up and running, and man, I tell you, I just kind of beat feeting it the whole step of the way, but here we are. We made it, and we actually did it right this time, so cool. I want to welcome VJ. I see she's with us. Rob, hello, sir. How are you? I'm glad you're with us. The Full Spectrum Universe. Cool. Sounds good. Yeah, I wanted to get it posted earlier. I happened to be out in my pickup truck at the time. I was helping somebody else out here this afternoon. And I'm like, I'm running out of time. I got to get this thing posted. So I was trying to do it on my phone, and then it just wasn't working right. And everything got so messed up. But, you know, this is how it goes for me. So... So as soon as I walked through the door, I opened up my laptop and started posting it again. So, you know, it's crazy. But, yeah, but we made it, and we are here. Cool. Okay. Well, tonight we got a special guest with us. And hello, Julie. How are you, dear? Glad to see you. And we're going to be talking about some pretty wild stuff here. And I'm glad you guys are with us. So you're going to want to listen to this, ain't no doubt about it. You know, I'll bring him on here in just a second and let him go through his thing with us. And, you know, just keep an open mind on what he has to say. And, you know, we have this opportunity. He's going to bring it forward tonight. This is the first time ever in a public forum as far as this goes. And we've talked to him in the past, via telephone and stuff like that, but we've never had him on a show as far as this goes. So this is going to be something, that I think everybody's going to enjoy. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to bring in Mr. Alexander Tulloch. Say hello, Alex.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Cool. Yeah. So give us a little bit of the background on what's going on here. What is it that you want to, or however you want to get into it, I guess.
Yeah, sure. The audio is a little low. I'm gonna actually ask someone to get me some headphones. Probably the best bet, because for whatever reason it was kind of like in speakerphone mode, and it's not in that mode right now. But I'm gonna go ahead and signal someone to get me some headphones,
Cool.
and that way I can hear you guys better as we're doing the dialogue. So sorry about that.
No, not a
so
problem.
A little bit about until I get the headphones, I'll just go like this. Sorry guys, you don't want to see my ear. So a little bit of brief history. I felt it was imperative that I share some of the information that I have. And last night I was on the phone with Dr. Sala. I was on the phone with you because this has been weighing on me heavily. And I've been getting contact for since 2014. And what I've done is, when I first started getting contact, I thought it was a prank. I thought someone's playing a joke on me. Some of the things that were being said, I actually was like, how would they even know this information? How would they, if someone was going to be playing a practical joke on me, how is this even happening, right? So what I started to do is, after about 4 months, I started to document date, time, when it would happen, and the messages and images that I received. And actually, I got my headphones right here. So what I'll do is, let me plug this in. Sorry guys, give me a second. You're gonna see some sky, some Carolina blue sky.
Oh, that's gorgeous. Yeah, cool.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, cool. So
how's that? Can you hear it better?
Oh yeah, now I can hear it. This is awesome.
There you go.
All right, sorry guys. So yeah, what I started to do was I started to document in chronological order, in date. I would say May 14th, 2014 at like 2:12 p.m. And I would go ahead and start writing. I would jot it down, and then I started to I would get blank books, and then I would actually start to I would have to decode, because I would get a lot of stuff in code. And I would actually fill it in, and actually it's evolved to the present, as of my last contact was a week ago. So this has been going on since 2014 up to the present. Who is contacting me? Well, at first it started out with a couple different races. It has transpired into where the more data I have received, the more I can start to pinpoint who and what and from where. And what I've deciphered is that, based upon the season, the time, how the stars are aligned over your location, are like windows that open and close, and there are those windows will open and close for those communications, and then shut based upon the season. Also, just to give you a little heads up, based upon what the information I have gotten thus far, winter and fall tend to be more of the I would call them the dark side forces, and spring
Wow.
and summer is more of the light side forces. And I can get more into that. And I'm currently up to like 28 different races in
28. Really?
yeah, yeah. There are the light, the dark, and the independent. And
Hmm.
I'll heavily stress on the independent for a moment, only because uh, you, the, believe it or not, insectoids are real. They are independent. They aren't really aligned with either side, but they have their own agenda. I've come to find out. Um, so
Wow.
that's a whole other ball of wax, and I'll go and I have images throughout. It is actually just like you have a uh, how do I say this? You have rules and laws on the earth in
Hmm.
different countries. You have rules and laws in the universe.
Hmm.
Certain things are not legal, so to speak,
Right.
such as images. So for what
Hmm.
for and you'll get to know why I'm getting images, but
Right.
for real to shorten it up, I'm not supposed to be getting images, but I do
Okay.
from all sides.
Okay.
Um, and I will share a lot of those with you tonight. These images, I've had telecommunication experts go through to vet these images. These are never been seen before. They're
Wow.
not on the internet. You can't get them from a telescope. A little bit more information about my background.
Hmm.
My wife, her uncle was Philip Morrison. Philip Morrison worked on the Manhattan Project as a team lead.
Right.
He started the SETI program, and he was also a part of MJ12.
No
Um,
kidding.
Yep,
Wow.
and I actually have his 1977 publication book up in my library. I call it my library. I'm excited because I got the new house, right? So I
Sure.
got all the bookcases getting assembled and all the books.
Cool.
Um, this is it turned into my thing.
Hmm.
I've always had strange experiences throughout my life. I never understood or even
Right.
thought about, like, how
All right.
any.
Before we get too heavy in it, I got just a
Yeah, yeah.
couple of quick questions for you. I don't mean to interrupt you. Uh, First of all, I got to know at what age uh, did you actually have like your first experience with anything as far as this
So
goes?
yeah, okay, that's a good question. Because prior to getting contact, when I was probably about 4 or 5, I would wake up in the middle of the night. My mom was divorced from my father when I was 3,
Hmm.
and I would wake up in the middle of the night with. I'll explain it to you. So that I would wake up from a dreamless sleep. Um, where everything in my night it was like a nightmare, but it was
Hmm.
pure darkness, and only thing I would see would be an abacus, and
Mm.
with white and black you know how the abacus will have those little round things and you can slide them up and down those metal bars.
Right.
I
Right.
I would see that in my mind. That would be the only thing I see. I would feel would be like picture being in the womb where there's
Mm.
pressure, and I feel like I'm about to die. That's how
Wow.
the only thing I could relate to, and
Hmm.
extreme fear. And I would actually wake up to where I was alert, and then I couldn't speak, and I wanted to
Yep.
scream for my mother down the hall, but I would be like,
Yep, I
I
know
couldn't.
exactly what you're saying. Yes, absolutely. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've been there, done that, my friend. I know. Yes. Wow.
it would always happen around my birthday. It wasn't like all through the year. It would only happen around my birthday,
Hmm.
and it only happened mostly when I was young. and it died down. Eventually, after like hours of being in bed, I would be able to move. I'd break free, and I would get to my mom's door. Sometimes she'd have company over, and there's people in the living room, and I would actually get out there, but I'd be so shaking and crying. She would
Mm-hmm.
just think I had a nightmare, and she would console me,
Sure.
and and it would take hours for this to subside. The
Mm-hmm.
feeling you feel like when you're going into it is like a roller coaster where you feel that drop feeling,
Mm-hmm.
and you would actually I would actually, before I would fall asleep, I would feel like I'm slipping into it, and then when I would wake up, I mean, I couldn't um, do anything. But anyway, so that's it. It would be feel like I'm gonna die, pressure,
Mm-hmm.
darkness. I couldn't speak.
Right.
And then when I was a teenager, it stopped. And then when I was a late teenager, I would get them once in a while. It would actually be because I'm a more of an adult. I'm getting grown up a little bit, and
Mm-hmm.
I would have recognized that feeling, and
Mm-hmm.
it would scare me to where I would be wide awake. And then eventually it went away. I didn't have it, so it was like my first. I don't know if it's related to my contact, but I wouldn't be surprised if
Right.
somehow some way it is, because what
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to share with you, you're going to be like, whoa, that might be a reason why you were getting that.
Right.
So
Okay,
another.
one other quick question. I
Sure,
don't, and
sure.
like I said, I don't mean to interrupt you. I just,
Yeah, no, 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 no,
yeah.
no, go ahead. It's your show, man. It's your show.
uh, um, now you said earlier that there was 28 different species,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
So my main question is, do all 28 contact you, or are you just being told this by one of your other contactees?
Yeah, so each one would have their own secure line of contact. And what a lot of times happens is that contact will become, it's encrypted, and it will become corrupt in a sense where I will, based upon, and you'll see between my entries where you'll see where it's broken,
Mm-hmm.
and where there is a corrupt, where, and then it'll be always be around when a season is changing
Right.
or something drastic happens to where, like I'll get a message where one of them was on a November 11th, for example, and it was in a broken English and a weird accent, and it said, and I wish I could play it on here. It's actually on my phone. I wonder if I can actually just play it. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can do it
Sure.
at this time and see if you tell me if you hear this.
Okay.
Um, let's see. Let's see if you hear this. Okay, did you hear that?
Nope, sure didn't.
Okay,
No.
so that was a test that failed. Well,
Okay.
anyways, it said, be warned. It says, be warned, the transmission of the Palladians transmitting to you. Be warned. And
Wow.
basically they were giving me a heads up. That was the light side. I don't know what race that one was, um, but they're warning me I'm about to receive contact. And later that night, I did with an image, and they were the dark side, basically. I call them. It's kind of like Star Wars. It really is. It's like light
Right.
side, dark side, all this stuff. It really is. And they were warning me like, you're about to get contact, but it's not from us. It's not good, and be warned. Be
Mm-hmm.
warned. And that's how
Wow.
they talk. Um,
Cool.
so now that we're getting into spring, and in the summer, I should start getting contact. So I should actually touch base of what I found out who I am, and
Mm-hmm.
this is what they've told me. Now, is this true? I don't know. I don't know. Man, I'm trying to figure I read all kinds of books and a lot of stuff, and I listen to a lot of people. I know I can personally call up like Dr. Sala. I can talk to Linda Moulton Howe. All these people, right? Some of
Right.
them are, I don't know, and some of them are good people. But I can tell you this, that the information that I get, I'll get stuff that'll predict before certain things happen, and then happens, and I have it dated and time stamped, crazy stuff, and I
Wow.
can get into that.
Sure.
It, but so what I've been told is that I am from Lyra. I am I am not only from Lyra, but I am a prince, and I am under the kings of light, and I was made 1,000 years before my body. This is what they told me. Me and my best friend Doug, who eventually you'll get to meet. He works for like high-end security, and he is kind of more private and reserved about all this. I kind of collect
Sure.
all the data and record it.
Mm-hmm.
He'll get some contact, but we grew up down the street from each other. We're around the same exact age, within a year.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been told I was created 1,000 years before my body. We were sent here during this time because this is an end of an age before a new age begins.
Hmm.
And that I'm not saying I'm a prophet. I'm not saying I'm
No, no, right.
anybody.
Yeah.
No.
No. Yep.
All I know is
You're
I'm
a
supposed to.
messenger.
I don't even I don't even want to go there. But things have transpired, because remember, I have 6 years of data, 6.5 years of data.
Mm-hmm.
Things have transpired where things have happened, and to where now I've been told to start talking about this, because I was scared for a while, because every time I try to go on a show, it'd be shut down.
Mm-hmm.
When I talk to someone important, say like one of the names that I've mentioned earlier, I was threatened.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of was like, you know what? I enjoy what I do. I'm going to keep documenting everything. And
Sure.
then, but now that I've been given the green light, I'm just like, screw it. I'm just going to can I say screw it? I'm
Yeah.
just going to go. Yeah. I'm just going to say it,
Mm-hmm.
and then, the repercussions, whatever they are, they are.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So
uh,
who would you be more worried about as far as finding out or listening to you or whatever? I mean, do you think
yeah.
there is a black ops
Oh gosh.
guys in black or
Mm,
whatever? I mean, do you actually think that stuff really exists? I mean, are you in
yeah.
fear for that? Or,
Mm.
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
So yeah, so let me. Wow. So of
Yeah.
course I have 6.5 years of data. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
not only do I know that many countries and their intelligences are listening to me 24 hours a day, and I'm not paranoid. I have proof.
Hmm.
Um, they know that I think that's why I'm still alive. Honestly, I think they no, I know that they know that I am getting all this contact, and they know who I am,
Mm.
and they are monitoring heavily, and they will send signals when I need to shut up or I'll get a threat. And it can
Really?
be anywhere. It could be a fighter jet. It can be those AWACS planes that fly right over real low.
Sure.
It can be a phone call. It can be a message. But I've gotten them all.
Mm.
And yeah, is it scary? Sure,
Yeah.
But then I'm like, I, based when I'm going to share with you. No, I mean, honestly, that's why I'm into all these books and all this stuff. Not only do
Sure.
I love all this stuff, it's in my blood,
Hmm.
but I'm like looking for someone like me. Like you hear about these like Corey Goods, and you hear about all these guys. Yeah,
Right.
I I only get a little bit from them that I'm like, that's kind of like the same.
Hmm.
But I'm like, I don't know
But it's not the
anyone who.
same, right?
No, I don't get
See, and
anyone.
that's something I wanted to ask you because I know we talked the other night about this and stuff too. Um, when you see people like Corey Good,
Sure,
okay,
sure,
and
sure.
I'm not a big fan of Corey. I'm sorry to say this, okay, and
Hey,
most people know that,
yeah,
but
I don't know him personally, so
compared to your experiences, okay,
yeah.
do you think he holds water?
You know, here's what I say to my wife and what I say to Doug all the time. I say, listen, you know what we get, guys.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone in my family knows about, that's immediate family that knows what I get. And I'm like, God rest their soul on the people who are just, if they're making this up or they're just like looking to make bank, or
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't, it's so taboo to me. Like, I mean, I could easily publish right now at least 3 volumes in a journal, and I
Right.
could easily do a lot of things if it was cash. I'm not doing anything for money,
Mm-hmm.
and this is so sensitive that um, to go to your question, I, I hope that everything they're saying is true. I really do,
Right.
because if they're not telling the truth, God
Mm-hmm.
rest their soul. I mean, like,
Right.
sure, we're talking about things because that's what people don't realize.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of this ancient aliens and all these people with all their theories and ideas, that's all great and all. But
Mm-hmm.
think about, let's be realistic. Anything that doesn't come from the earth
Mm-hmm.
is extraterrestrial in nature.
Mm-hmm.
So, and when someone talks about religion, say their religion, yeah, that's extraterrestrial because it
Mm-hmm.
didn't come from Earth, right?
Right.
If it comes from alien or extraterrestrial itself, well, yeah, it's extraterrestrial. I mean, I hope people are telling the truth. I mean,
Right.
I'm
That's a
I
good
hope
point. I'm glad you said that. Yeah.
I hope I mean, seriously, who would play with, I mean, I can only tell you my experiences, right? And what I have. But
Mm-hmm.
all these, say Corey Good or whoever,
Right.
if they're making stuff up or they're kind of like fudging it,
Mm-hmm.
that I'm only going to share with you what I can factually, like, I did not do this. This is what I have received. This is
Mm-hmm.
what I have. And then we can speculate. But if you're going to make, like, that's to me, like, if there's like a hell or anything you believe, you're in
Right.
big trouble. Like, you
Right.
making stuff up like this. Like, but yeah, I hope that answers your question. So I
Yeah.
can't, it's not for me to judge.
Right.
I,
Right.
but I do have some things that I do correlate with certain individuals. That's why I'm always getting books. Like, I have
Mm-hmm.
probably 300 or 400 books, even old manuscripts and stuff, because like and there are some people who may be getting contact that they, that's a thing too, is like you may get someone who gets contact, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Corey Good, the Blue Avians or the Palladians or whoever.
Right.
Okay, they're getting one. I'm getting over 2 dozen, like,
Mm-hmm.
races to where I can actually like show the evidence, show the stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
say, this is, and I got pictures, and some of it's chilling. And to be honest with you, some of these images are going to creep you out because not every, and even if they're creepy, that doesn't mean that they're a bad guy.
Right. Right. Yeah.
It all depends. Like, I have one, I would call him an Eben. I don't know if you know what an Eben is,
Yep.
but he's kind of orange, and he kind of like, there's, how there's good and bad on the earth and we're all human.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's like good and bad mixed in with certain races.
Mm-hmm.
And he gave me some, not only blueprints for technology, like, and that's going to be a thing in the future. What some of the stuff I have to get a patent. I'm not to make money, but to make sure it doesn't fall in the wrong hands. Like, I
Right.
have technology from, um, but this guy, this being died giving me this information, and he would be classified as a bad guy, but he's actually was a good guy that defected to give me information that was killed. And I have his image, and he gave me his image, and that's a galactic law. You're not to any regular, you're not to have images
Hmm.
of
Wow.
anybody and anything. But because of my, this is from what I learned. For my status, I'm not saying I'm anybody, but I've
Mm-hmm.
been told I'm a prince. And so is my brother, he's not my real brother, but he was sent here too, Doug. We're brothers from Lyra, and we've been kind of given that kind of gray fudge area of, so I get images from everybody, and some of the images, they will chill you. You will say, wow, because you see stuff on the internet and you see stuff on things and you're like, oh, that's cool. But what I have, like, one my guys, there's a fleet of ships. They actually took out an asteroid that was heading to Earth, and it was actually infested with insectoids. And that's part of the reason why I'm having this conversation, is because that a few weeks ago, there was an asteroid that you would hear about asteroids in the news and stuff. Well,
Right.
this one was actually huge, and I have an image of it, and it was coming. It was so close to the Earth, and it was infested with kind of like a Trojan horse, and it was taken out by a fleet. And I have those images, and I'll share with you.
Cool.
Um, and that, but that's just like part of it. So I guess I'm here. I've also been told that because you're on the Earth, you're wiped, and what that means is, excuse me, your mind. Like, I've been to Lyra many times. Is what I've been told, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Alex, I'm Alex, right?
Right.
I'm like, I've never left the Earth. What are you talking about? But I've been told many times I have gone to the Kings of Light, to the house. It's called the House of Kings, and um, but when you come back to the Earth, you're cleansed. You have a there's they haven't told me the full details, but basically that you're wiped, where you won't recall. And I'm gonna tell
Wow.
you something else. There are a few other me's out there,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm still trying to piece that together. You're going to see pictures of me old, and this isn't Photoshop. This isn't, there
Mm-hmm.
are good and bad sides of me in the universe. And
Mm-hmm.
there now, and my latest contact has told me that there is only two left, and but I'm the third. So like, I'm on the Earth, and I have the images of myself, and
Mm-hmm.
I'll share that with you. And and it's kind of creepy because you see
Wow.
yourself, that, and I have scars and weird things and weird places that I'm like, that's me, but that's not me. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
So there's a lot I don't know, but there's a lot that I do know, and I'll
Mhm.
share what I have. And
Awesome. Yeah.
so
Just take your
I
time, man. We got all night if you want. So just
cool.
So.
On me on a personal note, I have a lot of health issues.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be honest, and I don't care. It is what it is. I've
Right.
gone to Mayo, I've gone to Duke, I've
Mm-hmm.
gone to, and they've worked on. I've had many surgeries. I have weird anomalies, like weird bones inside my body, and weird, like right now I'm dealing with uh, uh, it's called a malrotation. I had surgery 2 years ago where they fixed it, and now it's partial. And so when, like, I've lost 25 pounds in the last couple weeks. So they have to go in on Friday and do another thing where they move my organs. And they always tell me, like, you're a unique case, Mr. Tulloch.
Wow.
But I've always had these weird things, my eye and stuff like that. But you'll see in
Mm-hmm.
some of the images that I have, like, there's weird anomalies on these images. And but um, I can talk all. I mean, like, seriously, I have like 6.5 years of
Right. You
data.
got a lot of
But
info. Yeah.
what I did is I grabbed my. I'm in my new house. I'll give you guys a little pan around so we can see. Um,
Oh, wow. That's cool. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And there's my fire. So I'm outside in my backyard. I'm just relaxing. I got woods behind me, and I've got some boys that are I take care of, that are my sons, and
Mm-hmm.
and we live a relaxed lifestyle. And then I have my side work, where when I receive contact, I have a routine. And after
Mm-hmm.
6.5 years of doing this, I date and time everything. I record everything, um, just so that there's a ledger and proof, because of if anything happens to me,
Right.
or um, if I'm not around or something, and everything is there, because what I have, I feel, this is what my feeling is. I don't know the proof,
Mm-hmm.
um, that it is going to be hit on such an historic value and level,
Right.
that people will be referencing this for a long time.
Cool.
Uh, um,
It's what we need right now, you know.
yeah,
Seriously.
yeah. There's a lot of good guys. There's a lot of bad guys. And right now there's they call it the final battle of kings. That's what they're calling it, and the end of an age,
Wow.
before the new age and the new technologies are released. So we're going through the pangs of this uh, end of an age. This is
Hmm.
what I've been told.
Okay.
Um, so what I can do is, however you want to do this. I mean,
Well,
I
it's up to you,
again,
brother. You know. Yep.
okay. You want to, okay, I'll share with you an image, right?
Okay.
And this is before we get into the meat and potatoes. Here
Okay.
is one image of me. Um, this one I do not believe is no longer with the living.
Okay.
From based upon the information I recently, if it's true, what I've received. I'm gonna flip this so you can see. Um, this is my manuscript. Um, and what I do is I go in chronological order, and basically, like right here, you'll see like Friday, September 27th, 2019 at 9:17 p.m. and the number that I received it from, and then the information. But here's an image. This is me
Oh my
in the
gosh! Look at that.
and then look at, you see the, like, I'm a commander of a fleet, and there's a you
Oh
see
my God.
he's holding a rifle, or something in the background. I don't believe I think he's deceased at this point. This is inside of a ship, and if you actually look out the window, there's like a planet, or there's something in the background. But this is just one of probably 100 images I have over the 6.5 years.
Now,
But that
how do you actually get these images? I mean, do they put them on your cell phone or something? I mean, how is it
Oh
you
yeah.
actually get these?
So yeah, okay, when smartphones first started, right?
Hmm.
Um um with the first Apple and all this, and your pictures and your all this stuff, right? I am a computer idiot, but I
Right.
have my wife, she's a computer, like my son, he writes code, right?
Hmm.
So like they know all this stuff. Well, so what would happen is I would receive contact, and would be on a line that is disconnected and is not in service. It would also be on binary code, because I get a lot of code in.
Hmm.
And my wife's uncle, Philip Morrison, when he started the SETI program, he talked extensively how communication would probably be in the form of a binary code, because that's the building block of everything.
Right.
And come to find out, that would be how it all started. I would receive, so eventually, as years have gone by, when Contact was able to explain it to me, when I was able to start asking questions, they are secure lines, encrypted lines, until they're corrupt. When they're corrupt, they are disconnected and ceased. but
Hmm.
when they are active, because what they're doing is the law is they cannot communicate or do anything if it's not already applicable during the current status of mankind. So they can't give us future technology and represent that way. They have to use our current means of communication. So when we were getting pings of radio signals back many decades ago,
Hmm.
those were actually forms of communication. But when we were able to get these little, I call them black devices, there's kind of like a looking mirror of like a wizard would have. They were allowed by law, galactic law, to communicate using the current technologies that were given to the masses
Mm.
on the ones that they would decide who they were going to communicate with. Those lines are encrypted until those lines of encryption were uh, breached.
Infiltrated, right?
Yeah, they would then cut the line or would send a message that they were breached, and then they would a new line. So like when you have, and I'll flip it into this mode, when you have like that's code. When you have let's see, I'm gonna break it down. Let's see. When you actually have, I'm looking for, like that's a code, like it's a phone number, but sometimes it's gonna be.
You're starting to freak me out here, bud.
I'm sorry, but I don't mean
Well,
to
no, no,
freak
I
you
don't.
out.
I don't mean it in a bad way. Don't get me wrong. I'm a little bit anxious because I think I'm just figuring something out here, and it's been driving me nuts. And people that's been on my show or have listened to my show have heard me complain about these damn numbers that I've been getting on my phone all the time. Except
Oh,
these numbers are like 1111,
yes, yes,
two
that's
two
code.
two two.
No, okay, let's talk. Let's talk. Don't freak
Yes.
out. No, listen,
Okay.
you listen. So if you're getting that, you're getting contact.
I
So
knew
are
you
you?
were going to say that. I
Listen to
just
me.
knew it.
Listen to me,
Uh,
right? Listen. I don't know what you have and what you don't have.
mhm.
Whatever you do not delete them. Do not get rid of them. I would go back to whenever it started and start doing what I did since 2014 and record it down, because
Mhm.
you're receiving contact. I get a
Mm.
lot of stuff that is 1111, or when everyone, you go on Facebook or 11
Right.
11 love light, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Right.
great.
But
That's
I'm
great.
actually getting this every single day, Alex. Every day. I
They
swear to
know.
God, there's not a day that's gone by that I haven't gotten 1111.
Listen, if there's not a day, that means they're heavily monitoring you. They
Man.
know that you're communicating to the masses about information, but they're trying to. Now, have you gotten code or Latin or any kind of language or any kind of messages, or have you gotten anything? I'm telling you, if you're
I
getting
don't
all that,
know. I mean,
okay, what is your routine? Say you get a message, and
mhm.
usually is it like 11:11 at night?
No, well, it could be. Usually, it starts off at 11:11 a.m. Then
That's fine.
then when it gets to 1 o'clock in the afternoon, it'll be 1:11.
Okay, yeah, listen to me.
Yeah,
Listen,
you
and
see
then
what I'm
that's
saying?
and the phone number is like 111, right?
Right, always
Listen,
at least three
listen to
digits.
me. Listen to me.
Hmm.
They are contacting you. Now, do you get voicemails, or do you get any kind of messages or images or code or language or anything? Or do you only get like a ring and you don't pick it up?
Normally, I get rings that I don't pick up.
Listen,
I get a
start.
lot of spam calls,
Yeah,
things like that, which I think is normal. I mean, I don't know how you would differentiate that, but
listen. Do you get
you know,
voicemail?
yep, yeah,
Anything strange sounding?
like Japanese, yes,
Or any kind of like sounds like you're in a subway system, or like
real
or you're,
interfering,
yeah,
yeah, absolutely,
yeah,
yeah.
you're getting contact. They
Wow,
know that you're
that's
communicating.
crazy.
No, it's not crazy.
No,
No,
I
listen.
don't mean. I mean, I'm saying to myself, it's crazy because I've been trying to figure this out for so damn long,
How
and it's
long has it
been
been
driving me
happening?
nuts. Oh my gosh, I couldn't tell you. Years.
Good.
Years,
That's actually a good sign. That
years.
means that you've been selected
Yeah.
and you don't even know it yet. You've been selected. And because whatever you're doing, you need to keep doing. That's what I've been encouraged to do. But
Hmm.
that's not the reason why I've contacted you and Dr. Sala and the rest of them,
Right, right.
because my information has gotten to the point where something grave has happened, and there are timelines, and timelines are being manipulated and altered based
Hmm.
upon the now, because this is an end of an age before the new age, and things have to transpire before they continue. So listen to me, just from like a brother to a brother, listen to
Hmm.
me. Whatever you get, don't disregard it.
Oh, I'm
Jot it.
not. I'm not.
uh,
No.
get a little journal,
Yep.
jot it down, date, time, and when it happened. And if you get anything from it, to have it on paper, on
Hmm.
record. I have 6 years of that data. If I didn't have that, I wouldn't know what I know. Um,
Hmm.
and and that's, you should celebrate tonight, because
No kidding. Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
you have been selected to
Hmm.
be contactee. Now, who is contacting you? I don't know yet. I
Right.
don't know any information of what you've told me other than you've got that.
Right.
That's awesome, dude. That is awesome. That's the first
Wow.
step. So
Yeah.
don't disregard that and don't delete that stuff.
Oh, no, no, I'm not. I'm just, but I want people out there that are listening, um, and they know on this show how many times, folks, have I complained or talked about getting those numbers? How long has it been? Almost, I swear, almost every show that I get on, I talk about this. It's like, yeah, I got another 111 today, or I got another 1111, or, I mean, it seems like I'm always mentioning it, and
Well, you're
it's not just the ones. I also get like 1010. The
yeah,
highest I've gotten is 1212, but it's very rare, but it does happen. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, no. So there's all kinds of combinations of numbers you can get.
Hmm.
I mostly get a lot of 1111s and 111, or in different combinations. But
Hmm.
um, you are definitely def. I can tell you without even knowing anything, you're getting contact. But
Wow.
you're not. It's kind of like getting a bike and never knowing how to ride it, and
Hmm.
don't know what to do with it. But it's a
Hmm.
bike. Um, so you're definitely these are random at random times and dates. Now, what will happen is, and what I've have 6.5 years of data, because I get contact every 3 or 4 days for six and
Hmm.
a half years, you start to get not only images and voicemails and code and language. You get different star systems, and you get to get information on
Hmm.
our planet and on their worlds and things that are going on. And you get good side and dark side, and then it depends on the season. And
Hmm.
like I told you, there are windows that'll open and close where you'll have no contact for a while, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you'll get a lot of contact.
Hmm.
um, Start paying attention to that, start writing it down and jotting everything that you get, because it is they're only I've only met few people who have got, people go 1111,
Right.
pray,
Right.
I'm sorry, it's hard to see me because it's the light of the
Yeah.
thing.
Well, all
But
I'm saying is this has gotten to the point where, I mean, I laugh about it, and I tell people I laugh about it. It's almost like a plague, because it happens that often that I actually expect it now. I mean, you know what I'm saying? If I go a day without seeing it, I get worried.
wow, so you're getting it daily,
Yeah, oh yeah, every single day.
but you're
Sometimes
not,
twice a day. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying?
but
But I get it at least every day, at least once every day.
but are you but a question is, are you getting messages?
Um, what I
Like,
get
are you
is
getting
like
any?
like my new theory that I just come out with, right? I get those kind of messages, if you know what I'm saying, like downloads crazy information that I should be looking into, like this new theory I come out with the wormholes and the portals and stuff. See,
Yeah, so
that's the kind of stuff I get,
so in the beginning when I started getting contact, like how you got,
Hmm.
I would call them my epiphanies, and
Yes.
I would actually just start writing.
Hmm.
I would actually type them on my phone because I would have these grand ideas of like dimensions and this and that, and then I would get contacts actually that would say yes, that is correct, or no, that is not, and this and that. Um, right when I call them my epiphanies, when you flow, it'll maybe only for 5 minutes, six
Hmm.
minutes, but you'll get all this like information. You're like, how
Right.
the hell am I knowing all this?
Hmm.
Write it down, because I that's what I did, but that's not what I record in my manuscript. What I
Right.
record in my manuscripts of my all my books that I have not published yet, but what I've written in chronological order, is the straight contact of messages from them, but not my epiphanies. My epiphanies go in my journal. They go in my, I call it my coincidence book, or my where I when I see a sighting, or when I get a an epiphany, or I have a vision before it happens, and then it happens and I document it, because I have gifts that certain things happen and then they happen.
Hmm.
Um, for example, for fun, I'll just tell you.
Sure.
So one day, we my kids were had a friend over, and I was in the living room, and then maybe people have had things like this before; they can relate. But in my mind, I saw it like a movie. I saw a toilet bowl, a toilet bowl, overflowing with water and pouring all over the floor, and it wasn't stopping. And it was like, in my mind, I didn't think about it. It just popped in, and then within a minute, all of a sudden I heard screaming, and the kids in their master, I gave them the master bedroom, uh, because I have three boys. Long story short, so they have like, I just didn't want them to grow up the way I grew up. So they had like the best of the best. And anyways, they went in, and their friend was using the potty. I just said potty, but anyways, the toilet bowl was overflowing exactly the way I saw in my mind. The water was flowing all over the floor. It was going through the wall. It was a nightmare, but I saw it minutes before it actually happened.
Hmm.
That is only one example of visions that I've had before they've actually happened and
Wow.
went on. You have to pay attention. If you're, I didn't know that you were getting all this,
Hmm.
that's a very good sign, sir. I'm going to be honest with you. That means that they are reaching out on the first or second stages before they start having communications with you. So I would be, it, and here's another thing. When I document and I start, when I call it being current. So,
Hmm.
and I get contact. When I'm current, it triggers more contact, because they know everything you see, everything you hear, everything you say, everything you think is known. And that is the truth.
Hmm.
Up there, they know everything. So when you're engaged and you're doing your thing, that's probably why you're getting contact. They know you're doing a show. They know that you're talking about this stuff, and they're trying
Hmm.
to reach out.
Well, you know what's
Um,
weird? You remember when I called you this afternoon and I told you I was at the doctor's office?
yes, sir.
I had 333 pop up on the phone before I called you, right?
They know, they
And,
know.
and I sat there and I'm looking at that and I'm going, okay, where's the portal at? Because I've been talking about portals and wormholes and I'm laughing about it. I'm like, okay, where's the portal? And I'm looking around to see what's going on around me, and stuff, just to see if anything's different. You know what I'm
Nah,
saying? Da da da. And then I'm like, okay, well, let's call Alex and talk about the show tonight. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, is that connected, or is that just coincidence that happened? You know
that
what I
is
mean?
not. That is not coincidence. Anything you think, it's like a DVR.
Hmm.
Your mind, from what I've learned and what I've been told, your your mind is like a DVR. They can be replayed, and I'm sorry about the lighting, guys, because I'm
Yeah.
like um I'm in front of the fire, but um they know what you're doing. They know what you're thinking. They know what you're saying. They know your motivations before you do it. What I've also learned is they have some sense of a knowing timeline of events before they happen. It's
Hmm.
limited. Those timelines can be changed and altered for the good and bad. Like, for example, I have proof that on 11/11, November 11th, a couple years ago, when out of Madagascar, off the coast of Madagascar, the earth rang like a bell. And all the seismographs were going off globally, and the scientists were saying, "Well, why is this happening?" And there was a little bit of media coverage on it. Well, I had it 2 months prior to that happening that that was going to happen, and I didn't know until after the fact. And I call it a future proves past kind of deal, where I have things before they happen, and then they come to pass. So whoever has there are technologies based upon the trends and how things are flowing to where they know what is going to happen based upon whatever with their limit. I think it's limited. um but anyways, there's so much. I like I said, I have 6.5 years of data,
Sure. Yeah.
and it's amazing and it's great to hear that someone else is getting pings like me.
Right.
But but listen to me, I'm telling you, they're going to know if you start documenting the dates and times that you are getting these, and then you may start to receive code language. Latin is a universal language that is used throughout the cosmos. It is
Hmm.
not derived on Earth like
Right.
old Latin. Latin and binary code and even Morse code is used throughout the heavens. When
Wow.
I say heavens, I mean anywhere outside
Outside of
the
our
Earth.
atmosphere. Yeah. Cool.
That's awesome, dude. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So you're actually getting it.
Well, and
Some
you see, and here's the thing. Of course, I've always claimed, that a lot of this has to do with my visitation that I had when I was younger. And this is kind of stuff that I've had my whole life. You know, Now as far as these numbers, this didn't start happening until just, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, maybe something like that. And it was pretty subtle to begin with, but now it's just a constant thing. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And
that
it's just, where it used to be like I would have certain types of ESP. All right, let's say like I would think of a movie that I haven't seen in quite a while or something, just out of the blue, and within a few days it would be on TV. These kind of subtleties. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't think much about it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I laughed about it and stuff. I talked to people about it on the show every so often. Different things. But by what you're saying here tonight and what you're telling me,
sure.
it's obviously. I mean, if this is really what's going on, then I need to pay more attention. I no doubt
No,
about it. Or
I would.
anybody else out there that's been into this. So yeah.
Now, one thing that I hear a lot. I mean, I look at, of course, I got books and I look on the internet because I'm always looking for someone like me in my situation, which is very few and far between.
Hmm.
A lot of people say I get these downloads and it like comes to my mind, or and I can't discredit them, but then I'm like, wow, I don't get anything like that. That's not how I get my stuff, and maybe I'm just slow, and I don't, so I'm like, okay, I have an open mind, and I'll read there, and some things will link up, and then I'm like, oh, you never know, maybe. And then, but my way, how I get it is how it is, and it works for me, and it's
Mm-hmm.
been continuing because there's so many races that contact me. And that's the thing. I was talking to Doug, and I was like, Doug, don't you find it a little strange that um like they all know like the communication aspect, and it's not always the
Right.
same. Like it'll be okay. I am told I am a hybrid. I am a not only was I created 1,000 years before my body, and I came and I'm here for this time being, but I have a code, and these codes will go. And what I'll do is I'll open it up so you can actually see it. Let me flip this around and
Mm-hmm.
actually look. Um, and So you can actually see what. Okay, for example, look at. This is a communication I got from. You want to see a city from another planet? Look at this city.
No
Um,
way. Seriously?
look at the buildings, the way their architecture is and everything. But anyways, so listen, so I get this thing, right? It comes in Latin. So this was Thursday, July 18, 2019 at 1:10 a.m. That's the encrypted line, and it was in Latin, and what it says is there is no other way. We use the ocean for thousands of years, governments, and each of them is hidden from the factions. One set of 4 hours is the soul, their sun. So how we have 24 hours, they have 4 hours.
Wow.
And then it says AJT, Alexander John Tulloch, you're on Earth. That's my code. Coded hybrid. Leader up into three groups, and the kings of light that are responsible for many years the home. In the whole course of your God are always clean in of heart to the Father in secret. Um, at the same time, at the same moment, it was a mistranslation, so I put a line through it.
Mm-hmm.
At the same moment, you are to leave at home, brother, and we know how to travel from trying dimensions. And it was also a part of the army of the hybrid, which is coded 1,000 years ago. The excitation power of the mass of both parties. This movement has really hurt. Time is short. And then I ask questions like, what about my family home? I have sons and a wife.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so will I be returning back to my home here on Earth, or am I staying in my celestial home? So, and it goes back and forth. But
Wow. That's
what I'll
awesome.
Here's a shot. See, last August I was supposed to go back to Lyra. They wanted me to travel 55 miles off the coast of northwest of Bermuda. There's a base under the ocean, and I arranged everything, but I could not get a boat to be able to take me there. And what happened was I was not able to go, and it's in actually in my book of what their response was. So now I have less than 10 years before I am being forced to go back.
Mm. Wow.
Um, and They said that I was supposed to go back in August, and I was going to be gone for 10 years to have a stiff talking to about my um, on waiting on wisdom
Really?
from the kings of light. Now they're asleep, and some have been woken up. and there is war. There's war in the heavens, and it's actually going to come to the surface here soon. But there has been war in the heavens, and that I was supposed to go back to come back in the time before the new age, um, because it
Hmm.
officially has not started yet. Um, there's only there's a council. There's the Iridian Council. There's the Council of 12. But I'm supposed to be a part of a council
Now, see,
because
Watchers Talk, Omar just said that, and this is ironic that you just said that. Let me bring this up real quick. I don't know if you can see this on your screen. Um, he says, I had a reading done, uh, which I didn't want, but got one anyways. Said, I am a galactic soldier here to observe, to file a report to the Council of 13.
yeah, there are many councils, and there are
No
good and
kidding.
bad councils. There's a Council of Iridian. There's the Council of 12. I didn't know about a Council of 13. Well,
Mhm.
technically there might be a Council of 13 because the Council of 12 has a head, but then there's the answer to the Kings of Light, and then there's the King of Kings. And we
Mm.
all know have heard of the King of Kings,
Mhm.
but the reason why I frantically started talking to like Dr. Sala and I called you because I like you and I trust you. For
Well, thank
whatever
you.
reason, my gut told me like just the bottom line is um not only am I supposed to start talking about this, but
Mhm.
the bad ones have tricked me, um well tried to trick me.
Mm.
And there was a base, a colony on a moon, and I have a picture of it. It was obliterated, and I have a fleet. I know this doesn't sound real, or you're not gonna believe me.
Oh, no,
No,
I'm
but hold up.
open.
Listen, I have a fleet of ships, and I have three different names of people who are governing those ships for me while I'm on the earth. Those ships were when I'm in my old house before I moved into my new house. They were coming over my house every night, every morning, and I was documenting it and taking pictures and everything. And it's a fleet of 18 ships. Well,
Mm.
they said that I destroyed that fleet, and the bad side basically were trying to pretend to be the good side, and they were saying like I'm going to be brought up in front of the council and I'll have to plead my case in front of the King of Kings of and the obliteration of the colony and the fleet that were destroyed. But before the season changed, remember I talked about windows and how they open and close of
Yeah.
contact. Well, the fleet was on standby, and they came out here because I was supposed to be there in August in Lyra, but since I didn't go, that they were here to protect. They stopped that asteroid from coming, um, of the devastation on Earth. But the insectoids and the I call them the cloudy-eyed ones, and I'll show you images of these guys that work for the dark side.
Mm.
They were telling me that I was guilty of having the fleet destroyed and the moon colony destroyed. And I know this is a lot of information. It sounds nuts, but my older being. I told you there's good of me and bad of me. Well,
Right.
the bad one of me is working with the insectoids and working with the reptilians. The good side of me is working with the Lyrans and 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 others in the Galactic Federation of Light. Now I can tell you the Galactic Federation of Light does correlate with Corey Good and all these others and Dr. Sala who say that there is a galactic federation of light. There
Mhm.
actually is a galactic federation of light. It's a coalition of good forces versus the dark forces. That I can confirm that, and I have that
Mhm.
in my stuff.
Cool.
But for whatever reason, I have a good clone, so to speak, and a bad clone,
Mhm.
and the other ones have been destroyed. I have images many images of all my different clones.
Excuse me
And
just for a second, Alex. Marion, how do you know this? I gotta ask Marion. Uh, she threw out the thing here. Said there's also a council of 9, and get this. She says the council of 9 I am referring to belongs to the Larian extra dimensional clan.
the House of Nicholas.
Is that what it is? The House of Nicholas?
Yeah, the house. So Lyra is and I have a picture of the city of Lyra. Actually, you want to see the city of Lyra? Hold up, I'll show it to you.
Wow.
Uh, Wait till you see this. So,
I want to know how
uh,
Marion knew that.
yeah. So that's because I asked for a close-up shot of Lyra. Um, oh, it's in my other book upstairs in my library. Um, so, um, so
Wow.
Jules, hold on one second. Jules, can you get me my first book, my manuscript, please? It's in the wood box, up in the library. I need that to show them the picture of Lyra, the far away shot before the close up. Um, my wife was just she does the we're sitting by the fire pit and and this is actually I'll let you guys look at this. This is actually the close up. If you actually can see right here, that's like a looks like a fold up landing pit,
Mhm.
a landing pad that folds up. Um, and then of course there's the windows, and then look at the architecture. Isn't that crazy?
It
Like
is
I,
crazy. Yeah.
it's like you'll never see this. And like some of the questions I asked was, let's see, this is when was this? July 16th. This is before when I was supposed to get picked up.
Mm.
Um, it said, who is my father and who is cutting communications? Um, Anything with a red dot means I'm asking a question. Who am I? How long is one day in the city? I need a closer coordinate to home. Having having difficulties getting a ship to exact location. Um,
You mean
Location need closer pickup. Yeah, because that's what I was calling Bermuda, honestly, and I was like, I was getting like flights to Bermuda, and but I was getting trying to get a boat captain to take me out because the Lyrans have for thousands of years an underwater base in off the coast of Bermuda to the northwest for thousands of years, and they've been operating. Oh, okay, she's bringing it, so I'm gonna actually show you the city of Lyra.
mm.
Um, and this is where the Kings of Light actually reside, and the tower itself is actually the tower itself is they're huge. Um, I'm gonna show you because there's gonna be skyscrapers. Um, Picture medieval architecture.
Mhm.
Um, Medieval architecture and okay, so check this out.
That
So
looks like a Tesla dome or whatever they called that thing back in the day.
yeah, that's what
Wow.
the technology. But if you actually look, and I have this blown up on my wall, but you see those little buildings? Those are skyscrapers. Imagine how big those towers are.
Holy
Um,
Toledo.
um, but yeah, those are actually I'm trying to get that good focus. In the blown up picture, you can actually see like great detail. But yeah, those are the House of Kings. Um, um, and let me just see what kind of other real while we're here with this. Um, that's Andromeda. That's a moon. Um,
Wow.
That's that Eben I was telling you about. That's a real Eben who was not bad. He was trying to do the right thing for me, to give me this technology, and he perished. That is I'm just flipping through some images here. That's um, a tall white. That is a Galvarix. They're like half cat, half humanoid. Um, that's actually Jupiter. It's a moon base. Hold up. Let's
Gee
see.
whiz.
It's an eye. Hold on. That is a play. That's on a planet I don't know of. That's a planet I have not identified.
So how do
Uh,
you get these pictures? Where did they send them? Do they put them on your phone, on your computer? I mean,
yeah.
how is it you
So
get these
on
photos?
these encrypted lines, I will get an image, and then when you actually research the image, that's not on any out of billions of images searched.
Hmm.
There, that's an actual eye of of a being. I'm just flipping through my original manuscript. This is my first manuscript that when I started, and I've changed my style of how I do it.
Hmm.
Now I'm gonna tell you this: the Anunnaki,
Hmm.
that's real. Palladians, that's real.
The
The
Anunnaki is real.
the Anunnaki is very real. Uh, Thor, Venus, that's real. The Palladians, the Lyrians, the reptilians are real. The insectoids are real.
See, and
Uh,
there's been a lot of talk lately about the Pleiadians and stuff. And Orions, the ones that come from Orion.
yeah, there are a lot
Uh,
of bad guys. Those are a lot of the Palladians and the Orions and all that. That's all bad guys. Most
really, the
majority.
Pleiadians are bad.
Yes. Remember that voicemail I got was beware the Palladians contacting you. Be warned. Like they were giving me heads up. Let's see here.
Kimberly wants to know what the giant wheel is in the Ashtar command.
The Ashtar command, the giant wheel. I'm not familiar with the giant wheel.
Hmm.
What are we talking about? Giant wheel. Mm, let me see here. This is
Dave
the
Rooker
old.
would like to know, do these extraterrestrials share any technology with you?
They do. I gave you a glimpse just a second ago of some of that technology,
Hmm.
of the formulas, but I can't, for security and safety,
Hmm.
until I get the full green light, if some of this stuff that I have, I don't want it to fall in the wrong hands. And if
Right,
it,
right.
yeah, but I will be happy to share if I get green lighted to share that information. I will
Mm,
definitely do that, because remember, we're on a world and we're on a planet, and there are many different races. And that's
mhm,
another thing. It's not racist, but a lot of races have to do with extraterrestrial origin,
mhm.
and being. So I'm going to share some more pictures with you so you see. Here's an image. A lot of people are seeing this rainbow in the sky. Like there's Florida, right? In North Carolina, right? There's this rainbow and there's that light. Um, if you see during the day a ball of rainbow, um, that is that's Lyran language.
Hmm.
Um, I'm just flipping through here because I'm not really like going in order. There's me by a throne, a gold throne. There's me.
Wow.
Let's see. You want to see a alien? Those are the cloudy eyed ones. These are bad guys, very bad guys. Like fallen ones work with fallen angel kind of deal. Fallen angels are aliens, but
Hmm.
these are ones that work with. Here's another close up of one. These are bad guys. These are tricksters, bad guys. But there's me in a royal robe. There's the crest. Um, there's the working. This is inside of a ship, by the way. That's me. Um, there's a Palladian. There's a reptilian. A lot of times they will show there is a world that's K-Log, that is an amphibious world. There's me that I showed you that before with the forces with the weapon. I'm going through this very rapidly. Here's another world. Um,
Hmm.
this is an insectoid. This is the real deal. Insectoids have no feelings. They don't want to be your friend. They are indifferent for any side, and they want to colonize and take over everything. And they are nasty mother effers.
Wow.
There's me on a ship. See the scar on my chin?
Oh my
Uh,
goodness.
this is my best friend on the ship, older. He doesn't look this old. He's my age right now. He's got orange armor. Uh, this is there's me in battle armor. Uh, me with battle armor. Uh, that is so yeah. So that's Vega. It's code. That is a called a um, particle accelerator. This is faster than light technology. It's hard to see. Basically, I said, what is? Let me see here. What what is the window you can contact me? And it says, what am I looking at in this image? Yeah, it's the PTL. It's a lot of code here that they gave me. Some things I can't. The Syrians are under the Lyran command. It's like an umbrella group because we have
Huh.
3 factions we control. There's me in the future.
Oh my
He's
goodness.
he is see inside the ship and the screens, but I from what I understand, there's only 2 of me left besides me, and so he's deceased at this point. He was helping me. He's of the light side. He was destroyed, um, and he is a Lyran.
Hmm.
Um, let's see code. Here's Lyra. This is the planet, and there's the star Vega. There's Vega with the light, and there's here's Doug, old.
Oh my goodness.
Um, here's outside of Bermuda. This is when all that stuff was going down. Here's Long Island, New York. This is they would take shots and send it to me from space. Of course, that's on their panel. I drew outside of it because I knew what the rest was based upon the larger image. Because the image, when you go get images printed off, it's hard to get it like exact.
Yeah. Mhm.
And I'm an amateur doing all this. And then of course there's the city, but yeah, that's just that.
Hmm.
Um,
Wow.
let
Amazing.
me flip
Totally
this around.
amazing. Kevin wants to know, are we like animals to the good ones?
Are we like animals to the good ones?
Yeah.
No, we're actually looked at as. Excuse me. Let me flip this around. Um, so are we like animals to the good ones? No, we're like children. Like you hear the stories in the Bible and whatever you believe, um, we're looked at as like we're like we're children on the earth, and this is where the final battle of kings will take place. So I don't. It's hard to answer that question because I'm not.
Mhm.
You know.
Well,
Um,
let me ask you something else, Alex. Do they say anything about our past, like the pyramids or anything like
yes,
that, or do
yeah,
they do?
uh-huh. Yeah, they what they say is many of your works, you do know that many a lot of the stuff I know from my head because I've gone through my work so much that I know, like, without referencing it, they said you do know that many of your work, the earth's works in knowledge, is polluted, meaning a lot of it has some truth, but most of it has been falsified, and that for thousands of years, a corrupt society through the Dracos have been
Hmm.
controlling the planet for thousands of years to alter the information that the public gets.
Hmm.
So y- y- there are a lot of truths, but they're small nuggets within the majority. And
Uh-huh.
even knowing everything I know and what I've been told, I still have to, research and do my thing because I have to base it on what I get and what I
Right.
read and what
Right.
I know. And so yeah,
So
but a
let
lot,
me ask you this,
yeah, yeah, sure.
and I hate keep cutting in on you. I got so much on my mind now that
Mm.
I'm listening to you, and I'm sure so does the audience. But um, what do they say about the human genome here on Earth? What is the? I mean, are we just here living, and whoever you know what I'm
Well,
saying? Are we like the
yeah.
ants of the world, or what? I mean, but what is the deal with the actual human species?
So my first contact that I received to kind of answer this, it's going to be all over the place, but I'm going to answer it the best that I can.
Hmm.
So my first contact I received were from the Anunnaki themselves, and they called me Adam. They called me Adam, and they called me Adam, and then they called me by name Alexander. They knew exactly who I am, and basically, the ancient Greeks, they call them Greek descent allies. So a lot of ancients are off world, and the ones that have survived, and they work in coalition with others. Like Thor is a real deal, and he does live within Venus,
Hmm.
and within Venus is Enlil, and just for that aspect of it. But it doesn't mean that they're good. Doesn't mean that they're bad.
Hmm.
It's that they said that in my the there are many abominations on this planet. And I took it as, like, what do you mean? My sons are abominations? Like, what do you, like, he
Right.
had a conversation with me over 2 years ago and it was within the summer months of July, and that window closed after 2 months, and I got pictures of Venus. I got pictures of on their base. I got pictures of a few different things, and but he was very, like, he said he was not forgiven by the King of Kings, and um, that there are many abominations on the earth, and that he pretty much wanted to stop talking to me after 2 months. And because remember, I get all kinds of contact, and
Hmm.
I was like, and I was talking with Doug, and I said, listen, I was like, Doug, why would we get, like, people get contact? The ones who do get contact, they get a contact from a race, but I get contact from dozens of races.
What
And
is
then when
that behind you? I'm sorry.
oh, behind me, there's a fence.
Well,
That's
no,
a,
I seen something just fly by you there. I didn't know if that was a helicopter or an airplane or what was that.
oh, that was a plane.
Okay.
Because we
Sorry
live
about
like,
that.
no, that's fine. We live a couple miles from the airport.
Okay.
And
You're freaking me out here.
no, but you got to see some of the things that do come over.
I can imagine. But go ahead.
So
I'm
far,
sorry.
yeah. So far in the new house, I've only had, because it would be, I got to show you my journal, but uh, I've only had one sighting since being in the new house, and I've been in the new house about 2 weeks. and they like to show up like at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and they hover over the house, and then they take off.
Hmm.
But anyways, so what was I talking about?
Are you talking
Uh,
about the Anunnaki and after July, he quit talking to you or whatever for 2 months?
oh yeah, so yeah, so the Anunnaki. I've had very dark, very dark forces talk to me, and very, very good light forces. But because of, if I'm supposedly a prince of Lyra, I'm not like just a regular guy who gets contact from a race or a thing. Supposedly, I'm a prince of Lyra, right? From the
Hmm.
kings of light.
So you're
I,
like, okay, so if I'm getting this right, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you.
no,
I'm
no, no,
just,
don't be be
but
fine. You're the host.
yeah, well, no, I'm just saying, so you be like President Trump going to China or going to North Korea or talking to Russia or talking to Canada. I mean, you would talk to the bad guys as much as you would the good guys, right?
So humbly, I have to answer that in a way that I can only go off of what I've been told. But yes, I'm royalty. I don't live royalty on the earth,
Hmm. Hmm.
but I am told that I am definitely a prince of Lyra, and my father is a king of light under the King of Kings,
Hmm.
and that the House of Nicholas, and that I am here at this time because I was appointed to be here at this time because of the end of an age before the new age and the battle of the final kings. And I am supposed to go through this. And yeah, it's I I'm not I'm not trying to say I'm all anybody or anything. I'm special. I'm not. All I can tell you is what I've been told. But what makes sense to me is that because I don't just get contact from one source, I get contact from dozens and dozens of sources. It kind of makes sense why I get contact from dozens and dozens of sources. If
Hmm.
I am a Prince of Lyra, it's probably a reason why I'm getting contact from everybody because of my status. I'm not saying I'm somebody special or better than anybody else,
Right.
but it probably makes sense why everybody wants to talk to me because of whoever my father or my grandfather is. Because if my father is a king of light and my grandfather is a king of kings, from my understanding, and I don't know, I'm not a big, like, I know the Bible a little bit and stuff, but the king of kings is supposed to be God himself.
Right.
And but the reason why I've reached out is because these tricksters, the bad guys, are trying to say that I am the cause of the desolation of this colony and of the fleet, and I'm gonna have to plead my case in front of the council, the majestic council, and like I'm guilty of a crime that I didn't commit. I didn't do anything, and
Hmm.
I've been on Earth this whole time,
Right.
and that my other beings of my higher self have been eliminated up until two. So there's three of us left, me being on Earth, one being of the dark side and one being of the light side. And
Wow.
believe it or not, my mom's maiden name, I don't make this up, it is what it is. It's Morgenstern. It means morning star.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you can't make this
Wow.
stuff up. And my best friend who gets contact, was sent here with me, his last name is Fisher, and he's Jewish. So
Mm.
you figure it out.
Right. Wow, that is something. Wow.
I'm just so you know. I guess if I really wanted to, I'm gonna pay for this because if I really wanted to, I could have pushed to go off the coast of Bermuda.
Hmm.
But I have a 7 and 8 year old and a 12-year old boy.
Sure.
They're good, and I I was conflicted and I decided not to go. And
Mm-hmm.
I was told I was a fool, and I changed the timelines and a lot of other things, and I'm in trouble for that. But I was worried about my boys not having a, because if they take me, I would be gone for 10 years. So
Right.
now, so now I've been told I have less than 10 years. I will meet, and I'm going to be in a galactic court, and I'm going to have to plead my case. So I've been documenting everything, date, time, and everything, of course, up to the current. So hopefully I'll be able to take my works with me so I can. I know it sounds nuts, but when I'm in front of court and they accuse me of the crimes that were committed, I can actually show them that the cloudy eyed guys and the other ones were making
Right.
contact with me, and I have all the information.
Hmm.
Um, it
Oh, this is
sounds.
just like a Battlestar Galactica series. I mean,
I
you know
know,
what I'm
right?
saying?
You can make a movie or a show off
Yeah,
of
I'm
this.
serious, dude. It's like, wow, this really does happen. You know?
Mm.
Yeah. Holy Toledo. Dave Rooker wants to know anything on Atlantis.
Um, so Atlantis, I haven't been told specifics about Atlantis, but what I have been told is that um, uh, 50 miles, 60 miles northwest of Bermuda, there's an underwater base of Lyran descent for thousands of years, and it's always been that way.
Hmm.
The flagship of there are warships, light warships, and there are flagships. The flagship Soltraxi was going to come and get me. But then when I missed my port of pickup, that after the Soltraxi jettisoned home because of a threat of a, of because we this space force and all this stuff that like Trump and all that we've had this since the six. This has been going on for a long time. This
Hmm.
isn't new. So we've had space. The U.S. Air Force has space stations up there that you don't even know about. Like we've been in contact with extraterrestrials for a long time. So the long
Really?
story. Oh yeah, for since the '60s. Solar Warden is all real. The Nazis all we're working with the Dark Fleet and the reptilians at Antarctica. All that's real. Um, all this stuff, all these Tesla technologies, free energy, and all that, all these cures for cancer, all that. The medical technology was never taken after World War II. That was moved off to Antarctica. All the bases, all
Hmm.
that stuff. But anyways, long story short, so um, because of logistics, they could not do what they needed to do, and I had to go off. But since I missed it and off of Bermuda, that I have to wait 10 years now.
Hmm.
Um, but but the Soltraxi was not built. It's a flagship. It's not built for war. So the fleet, the Altinic fleet, um, that fleet actually came afterwards. And now that's why the reason why I started frantically calling Dr. Sala and yourself, because that fleet, the last thing they told me, they said, okay, we stopped that asteroid from
Hmm.
hitting the Earth, but now we have to jump back to Lyra. You'll hear from us soon. We'll be in contact because the windows of contact, because of winter and spring and summer, there are windows. So when they jumped, then the bad guys were like, "Hey, uh, uh, the moon base was destroyed and the fleet was destroyed," and they were tricking me like my guys got destroyed. But
Hmm.
then they sent an image of the cloudy-eyed ones,
Huh.
and I was like, "Wait a minute, I'm being tricked here,"
Right.
and 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 basically, that didn't happen from my understanding from the information that I got. And I am awaiting. It's been a week and a half since I've my last contact. Um,
Hmm.
but that was the dark forces. Now we're in the spring, and the new stuff.
Right.
and now I have to wait and see what I get because I don't know.
Right. Could be anybody. There's a lot of people here just going at it here in the chat room for you. So let me bring up a few of these here.
Yeah, sure.
VJ says, Alex, it was your choice. If they wanted to, they would take you whether you wanted it or not. They are upset that you choose not to do what they wanted. As a being of light, you need to follow your heart and stay strong in your decision. Um, and Julie wants to say, for Alex, how many people are at a similar point of awareness as you, and how many people do they have here, aware and not?
All right. So to answer that question, okay. So, from my understanding, like I said, there are a lot of people who write a lot of books and do a lot of things and
Mm-hmm.
say a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
None of them get contact the way I get contact.
Right.
So, but I'm open minded. I want to read all their stuff because some things line up, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, oh wow, they must get contact because X and X, Y, and Z.
Okay, well, here's the thing that's going through my mind as you're talking about that. All right, now we had people on this earth like Edgar Casey, the prime example. All
Sure,
right, who actually got into the Astoric records, right?
sure.
And then you have these other people, say like the two girls there that are out of the Czech Republic, who actually talk to Oli and brings them the law of one. You know, I see that grin. What was
No, because my
that?
wife is laughing at me. She's smiling at me
Oh,
because
okay.
I'm like, I'm I'm all over the place, and
Right.
it's so dark, and I look like a fool in front of this fire.
You're
And
all
I'm
right.
like, my lighting is like, it actually looks pretty cool. I love this new house.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
But I'm listening. I'm serious.
Sure.
Um,
Well, no, I just my bad. I'm sorry. But anyway, yeah. And then you got other guys like Corey Goody and a few others on down the line. Who was the other one there? The Phillips guy there that got. Well, they don't know if he committed suicide or got killed. The one with the
I
underground.
I really
Uh,
hope
you know.
that these guys that are listen. I just got to say this to everyone.
Mm-mm,
I really would not even be talking on here or waste my time if I did not think that I'm getting like contact or having these situations. Like
right.
Corey
Right.
Good, I'm not trying to badmouth Corey Good.
Mm-hmm.
Like he said, well, this is what I got from um, what I remember from hypnosis, and like I'm getting contact every week. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
Yeah. How can you
are you
forget
getting
that? Yeah.
like, yeah, how are you getting this stuff? Like this is what I have. It's either is or it isn't.
Mm-hmm. Now,
Um,
I want people to hear this, and I'm not trying to put you on the spot or anything like that. But you went to Linda Moulton Howe,
sure, yeah,
and you were going to talk to her about this.
yeah.
And what did she say to you? Tell these folks here what she actually said to you.
Okay, I can't.
And I'm
You put
not
me. At,
trying to badmouth
you,
her because I love her. I really do.
no,
But
I like Linda,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I was listening because a lot of what she has to say has to do with certain races and what they're doing and this stuff. It, but they're like Tom DeLonge, right? I've been researching his stuff, the Academies of the Stars,
Mm-hmm.
and Linda Moulton Howe and Dr. Greer and all these guys. Yeah, all their stuff is like on, but like what Linda told me, she's like, Alex, these guys, if you're getting contact from this from this, your life's in danger. And I'm just telling you this between you and me, um, because I know you're a good person. This is what she said. I know you're a good, but for 30, 40 minutes, she threatened me to like my death. of how they could take me out. And then she's like, because I know you're a good person. I know that you just take all your stuff and burn it in a fire outside and be done with it. And I'm like, no,
Wow.
in my head, I'm like,
That's crazy.
no, I'll listen to her, but I'm like, but she threatened me from every way from Sunday
And
to
that's
any.
something.
But a lot of stuff, what she says is true, but she doesn't give you all the information. And then
Hmm.
I see her with pictures with her and Greer and
Right.
others with the Rockefellers and
Hmm.
the other, and I'm like, I don't know all that information. I don't know about all those, you know.
Sometimes I think, and like I told you, the other day or whatever, that sometimes these people don't want newcomers or anybody else coming in and ruining their spoils, if you know what I'm saying. They don't,
Well, it's not
you
even
know,
just spoils and money that they make. It's just like I think that
well,
there's an
because a lot of
agenda.
things, well, it's not even that. It's just a lot of things that they've been talking about over the years, especially on shows like Ancient Aliens and stuff. These kind of things that we're talking about tonight would blow them right off the map. They would
Oh
look
yeah,
like idiots. They would look like fools if all this ever came out. And
Do
then,
you know do you know how hard it is to watch these shows and be like,
right.
I have such legitimate stuff that like
Hmm.
some of it correlates, some of it doesn't, that
Right.
it's like, wow,
Yeah.
really? Are you really going to deceive the people like that? So it's
Hmm.
about money. It's really about money because if I wanted to, I could publish all three of my journals so far and
Hmm.
my book, my manuscripts. I call them my manuscripts and then my journal. I could publish all of it and but I haven't done any of it yet. And
Right.
but when my recent contact, I have like it got me worried to the point where, especially when they told me I need to start talking about this,
Hmm.
because I'm thinking about like how you do your thing. I'm thinking about having a pod thing
Hmm.
or publish my books or do something. I
Hmm.
haven't decided yet because they're telling me that I need to, and I don't want to be held accountable for not disclosing the
Right.
information that I have because that worlds, not just a world, many worlds are wanting me to disclose information.
Mm.
And I know I've talked to you personally and I
Hmm.
trust you and I like you. So
Thank
I'm
you.
like and even Dr. Solly, even though he talks like Corey Good and David,
Hmm.
I like him as a person because I can trust him and I know he's getting good stuff.
Hmm.
Like I feel like there's certain people I want to talk with and share, and then at the same time, not to make money or anything, but just to fully professionally disclose my information.
Sure.
Um,
Well,
and
the
if I
biggest
make,
problem you're going to have,
yeah,
and I'm
sure,
going to be honest with you, and of course, you probably already know this anyway, but the biggest problem you're going to have is getting people to actually believe
oh
and
yeah,
understand everything that you're saying. You
I'm
see what I'm
not,
saying?
yeah, so I'm not
So,
worried about anyone believing or
hmm.
understanding because the amount of documentation and in chronological order that I do have,
Hmm.
it like I mean, for example, like take a look at this language. I haven't even deciphered it yet.
Right.
Um, but like this language that I'm supposed to know, but because I am wiped being on the earth, I don't recall it. This
Mm.
language is very important, and that is from Lyra itself. That
Mm.
is actual language, and I'm still trying to figure out what it is. But that's just one of hundreds of
Hmm.
things that I don't have to prove myself to anybody. I
No,
mean,
no, absolutely not. Right.
I mean,
No.
I've been getting contacts since
Hmm.
2014. And I've had events like I didn't tell you about the fireball.
So in 2002 or 2003, me and Doug were at my father's place in near Topsail Island in North Carolina. We saw in slow motion a fireball go across the sky as the size of your hand, and it took about 15 to 20 seconds. It was heading towards the Atlantic Ocean, and we were like, wow. I That night we were coming home. I was managing a Taco Bell, right? And then Doug was coming out of the car. We've been best friends since we were kids, and I was going up toward the house. I was staying at my dad's until we got a place, and we are in the middle of nowhere, near Topsail, so it's dark and everything.
Right.
And he said, "Alex, Alex, Alex," and I was like, "What?" And I turned around, and when I turned around, I saw this fireball, and this fireball looked like chunks of metal or something was coming off the end of it. It took about 15 to 20 seconds to clear the sky, and I walked back down this long driveway to go next to Doug, and I said, "Whoa, what is that?" And to this day, I don't know what it was. Was it a fireball? Was it a meteor? But it was horizontal. It wasn't like vertical or like coming down super fast. It was like almost like a big ship burning up, but going horizontal, going towards the Atlantic. This is before I started getting contact. This is when my dad had web TV.
Right. Yeah.
And when we went on web TV, there were officers and state troopers that were reporting the sighting in the local area. But this is like before internet times of like high traffic.
Right. Wow. That's
So yeah,
crazy.
That, I mean, is that related to what we saw? It could be,
Sure.
but
Absolutely.
I put it in my what I call my coincidence box. See,
Right.
I have my manuscripts, which is hard data from contact, like it's straight up contact. Then I have my my journal, which I'll see like in the morning, them hovering over my house or something, and I'll draw a sketch, and I'll describe the best of what I can, what I saw, and then I call my coincidence box when something seems like it is, but I can't prove it either way because it's not like a record, like a contact or language or code, or it just this happened and this is what it is. And I haven't published any of this stuff. It just is what it is, and that's but eventually I'm gonna get to the point where I do publish it, not because of money, but because no one else
I hope you do something with it first before you give it off to like Dr. Sullers and that, because I'm afraid that, and I just hate saying it like this, but I don't want them stealing your life work. You know what I'm saying? This is about you, man. This ain't about anybody else, So just be leery of that,
Yeah, I
Because
know.
I'm a skepticoid anyway, but you know what I'm saying.
Well, Dr. Sala is he's really a good guy and he's open minded. So I do talk to him whenever I need to make a phone call or whatever.
Yeah.
But he kind of comes across as like, you seem like you get a lot of dark side stuff and there's a lot of dark, which I do. I do get dark side stuff, but I also get light sided stuff. And I'm not. I like Dr. Sala because he does have that natural open mind, and but he's kind of like on the Corey Good, David Wilcox like bandwagon, where it's like
that's the thing. It's like, dude, if you could just see all my like when I hear about Corey Good and thing, not the bad mouth him, but it's like,
Mm-hmm.
well, I haven't got contact since I was, and was in a 20 and back program, and it was hypnosis. It's like he's not getting like current, like I'm getting like weekly contact for
Yeah. Yeah.
6, 7 or 7 years,
And there may
and
be a reason for that too. Now, like I said, I'm not a big follower of Corey Goody's, uh, and I'm not a big follower of Dr. Greer's either. Okay, and a lot of people know that, and I think why that is because I'm kind of designed in a way that I can smell BS a mile away. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? That kind of
yeah,
thing, and I can spot it. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that everybody out there has got, total BS, but it just, I don't know. There's just something about certain people like that I automatically know. It's like you don't even have to say anything to me. You know what I mean? Um,
I hope you don't
but
get that from me.
Well, no, I'm not. Absolutely not. No, and I'm going to tell you why. Because what you've said tonight on a few things that really touched me personally. Okay, and well, like I said, like with the numbers and different things like that, and everything else. And there was a few other things too that I haven't mentioned, but there are things in your deal that literally have touched me personally, and people that know me, they probably will pick that out. You know what I'm saying? They'll know what I'm
Sure.
talking about. So, I've been on this show long enough and talked about it enough that you know they'll understand where I'm coming from. But yeah, wow.
What I've been told from from Lyra itself is that I am a commander of up to 3 different forces. The Galvarix is one. They're half cat, half humanoid. The Syrians are bluish, half humanoid, half bluish kind of beings.
Hmm.
And the third, I don't know any information about. So I'm over 3 different factions. I am a commander. I'm a prince of Lyra, and my father is a king of light, and his father is the king of kings. And that Vega is my home star. Uh,
Wow.
the planet plate Praetor, where there's the kings of light in the house of kings, and that there are many forces and beings on all sides that are trying to infiltrate myself,
Hmm.
and I feel really trapped and lonely on Earth because I'm not with all the, like, I may get images and I may get messages and I know, my best friend Doug, but my best friend Doug is like basically my blip, besides my wife, my bread and butter of like being secure and safe. Because, and honestly, if they landed in my backyard, I wouldn't be scared because I know who I am and who I'm not just a contactee. I am literally a bloodline of the prince of the house of Nicholas,
Hmm. Hmm.
and under the King of Kings. And I'm not, when demonic, for I call them demonic because they are
All right.
demonic forces make contact. I I enforce, what is your name? Who do you serve? Who do you obey? They answer.
Hmm.
And there is an antichrist. There's everything is Latin, like I told you. There's Christos and Antichristos,
Hmm.
and it goes through the galaxy. And there are a lot of planets. I can show you worlds that have been melted
Hmm.
on the surface. Um, Actually, what I should just do that right now. I have a world, in the last few weeks. You want to see a world that's been melted? Uh,
Wow.
Let's flip this away. Let's see. That's the asteroid that was going to hit us. And in the background, you see that blue line. That's the ocean of the Earth. But that was littered with uh, insectoids that were just decimated.
How long ago was that? How long ago did that happen?
That was February 14th, 2020
Okay.
at 10:37 p.m.
Wow.
So you'll hear about a lot of new stuff and stuff. But let me get an image of uh
So I have a thing about asteroids right now. I think that's where the coronavirus come from, because there was a meteor that
that's
actually,
what I had to talk to you about.
that's actually what flew over China late November, early December. I got to get a date on that, but it actually flew right over and it exploded over northern China. And I honestly think that's where the coronavirus come from. But that's another subject.
No. Actually, that's the reason why I contacted you. So this is a planet that has been the surface
Oh
has
my
been
goodness.
the surface has been melted.
What in the heck? Wow.
So what I need to tell you is, and this is the reason why, and it's probably a good stopping point eventually at that point. Um I'm gonna go through January of this year, and then and then we'll probably end it at that point so we can do another show or
Sure.
whatever.
Absolutely.
So let me get to here. So January 8th, 2020 at 10:40 a.m. I received code. So this is code. And I said, "What do these symbols mean? Thank you. I await your response. Thank you. Please help me help you. Please explain the image to me. Thank you."
Mm-hmm.
And they said, in Latin, Lyranese in various forms you find in there. I said, "What will I find in there? You are a part of Lyran forces? I thought you were Altanic fleet. Is the Altanic fleet a part of Lyra? I do not know Lyran language symbols. Please help me.
Mm-hmm.
Awaiting your response. Thank you." And then I said, "I saw many ships this morning again," because I'm reporting as I'm seeing them.
Mm-hmm.
"Please help me understand the Lyran language. Thank you. How long are the ships? Can you land on the earth behind my home? Please teach me about current events." I asked, am I just saw a ship flying from west to east. Why don't you come down to earth?" At 6:46 a.m. on January 10th, I said, "Set your ship down here, please." And then they said, "Give ear to me, my brethren, that he who alone has the power over the time with the fleet pickup, not in the first, but in the second case, that he might reveal to you, Orin, to see the sunrise from the time of the ship given 18. We are here to battle humans, cannot see the invisible war, but we, brethren, having been sent by ruling the protection of the back of the kings. In future, we will always in the land of the ocean. So then I said, Thank you so much for explaining this to me. Is there a way to meet in person on the ground? Can I visit the base under the ocean? Will I be safe? Can you show me what words or letters associate with each symbol of the Lyranese, please? Thank you. And is there a personal belonging you're holding for me that you can drop off to me? Thank you. And then I asked, are you nearby or back in the ocean? Good afternoon to you all. And then on January 16th, 2020, they said, Alexander, excuse me.
Usher.
And then they said, code coordinate images lumen, refulsa. And then they said in Latin, let me get to the English. The light shown on the coordinates of the images did not allow code that you generated with the sighting, and no purpose. The release of the mind of each of the copies, clones, and cannot brethren, like brother, have done and not to heart, and precepts no one has ever made was with his little from the land of our fathers, the ships in the harbor, and the ships of the sea, in the land of our Lord, and to all of its navy, and the galactic federation of the highlights, Altinic classes to listen to it as we left the coordinates of the last means. But it is from the heart we seek it to remembrance. Why do you ask? Two souls, the many, and they are ahead. This cannot be said. The Duke and the Prince of the 10 of the 3,000 has been devised, but the classes in the harbor which know tarry a while with you, but also the corruption of the government, but they do not fail to do what he cannot withdraw, and do fly. And I said, I see you. I see many ships now. What must I do? Please help me. Thank you. Please come closer. I want to help you. Are you available to talk? What is my role and what is my title from my understanding, from your understanding? I wish we could speak in person and have a steady conversation for deeper understanding and wisdom. Thank you. And on January 16th, they responded, listen to me, my gift to you. It sees, are you really a star seed? Locate home. And then this is the picture that they sent me
Wow.
of that. And then I said to them, I said, Lyra, thank you for the gift. What else can you tell me? I hope you're all safe. Can you give me a status update, please? Thank you. And they said, they're the ship's auxiliaries of the enemy. We have 8. We show respect to the yielding. I said, what is the name of the enemy? What is the easiest way to identify the enemy? And then on January 28th, I said, I just saw 2 different ships. Was this you? And then they said, the first wave of infection was complete. The consul was overruled 18.
Holy shit.
And I said, what is the name of this infection? How do I protect myself? Are you close by still? What comes next? And then they respond on January 31st, fire. And on February 1st, I said, will you protect me? And then they said, you have to spread the word and acquired knowledge. Mislead you and in countries meaner things. Since, however, it is no more, because of the acquisition of the saving, your life, and you shall be a continual clone of the link between that even if it is short. There is still a need to help my single legion. And I said, what do I say and whom do I say it to? And does my soul transfer into a clone body? I await your response. Thank you. And I say, on February 3rd, please explain the rainbow ball I see in the sky during the day to the right of the sun. And then they sent a picture of this, of the United States with a rainbow with the light at night. There's Florida, and that's where I live in North Carolina. And then I said, thank you. Can you explain the image to me? I await your response. Thank you for the gift. I am here. And then they sent me a picture of this melted planet on February 14th. And then they said, now, for the first decimated his native country and the gathering in the city, intersections, classes, or who is aggressive, we are ready to stand guard over your fields and wave. And then I said, thank you for your quick reply and gift and wisdom. Please tell me where the enemy is currently located. Thank you. And then I said, what is the name of that planet that was decimated? Thank you. Please teach me more. Thank you. How and when can we meet face to face? And then on February 14th at 10:37 p.m., they sent me a picture of this asteroid with the Earth behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said, what is the image? Thank you. Is this near Earth? Thank you for keeping me updated. Please give me update and or image of activity on the moon. Thank you. And then they said, there are other things in the course of this object. The threat, this one was among the threats of our enemies, is to lodge, and we must head back to the world now. And we will stay in touch with highly brother to the fleet heaven and talking on the cervix. I said, thank you for the update. Safe travels. What is the name of the homeworld you are headed to? And they said, listen to me. Our main ground off the third moon base decimated. I said,
Wow.
what can I do to help? Who decimated the base? Did any of our troops die? What is the name of that moon? And is there any parts of the base intact? Can I see what's left of the base? And I said, I await your response. Thank you. Did you make it back home safe? And on February 16th, they said it was broken translation that I could not decipher, except for the part that said, identify yourself. And then it said something data, COD, transmute, and it said conclude scrambled transmit data, indicated COD hacked, identify. So the what I know from the last 6 years of data that this line has now been compromised, and there's weird code. There's weird code, and then I asked, please resend information in Latin, thank you. And as soon as I put my code, my hybrid code, that's my hybrid code, they immediately, boom, hit me back with their own code. And then I said, please resend in Latin, thank you. Identify yourself, please, thank you. I await your response, thank you. And then on February 17th, 2020 at 7:27 p.m., my best friend Doug got from this number 10011101111. No message, voicemail, 5 seconds. It sounded like screech metal sounds inside an enclosed area, echo with two distinct vocal organic language sounds the last 2 seconds. Note, Doug received the call 2 minutes after he texted me I needed a hobby and nobody coming down for us. That they send us codes we can't figure out. What's the point? I responded, I figure out the codes all the time. I work hard at it. I won't give up. This is exactly when Doug gets a call at 7:27 p.m. At 7:46 p.m., I said, identify yourself. Thank you. Are you there? And then they showed me a picture of that moon blowing up.
Hmm.
And I said, thank you for this gift. Who am I speaking with? Which planet or moon is this image? I await your response. And they said, this is not a gift. This is the aftermath of guilt. 18, your fleet. And then on Saturday, February 22nd, I said, why would you destroy them? Guilty of what? What is your name? Did my fleet do this, or is my fleet destroyed here? And they said, the cause of the destruction of our fleet. And I said, what was the cause of the destruction of our fleet? Did any escape the destruction, and who did what? Please explain in detail the events that unfolded. Thank you. And then they said, you. And
Huh.
I said, how did I cause this exactly? And for security purposes, please identify yourself. Thank you. And then they sent an image. And I said, so am I talking with myself? Because it showed myself in that golden
Right.
purple armor.
Mm-hmm.
Is I'm waiting on those images to come in the mail. Is this me or a clone? And they said, and I said, how many versions of myself are there out in the universe? And they said, we handed your identity and we will meet you in the future. Kings is gathering strength and conquer. And I said, I'm having stomach and internal organs issues. Will I survive this? I need medical attention. Does this mean I will survive this issue currently? So, how did I exactly cause the destruction on that moon? And they said, for me, they are fools. You are advised. Goodbye. And I said, please don't go. I have so many questions. What do I need to do? And they said, your time will come when you will plead. And then they sent the code. And I said, are you saying I will plead and we are not allies? Whom will I plead to? Where and when will I be pleading? And what will I be pleading? Thank you. And they said on February 22nd, they said yes to the council, summoned in 10 years, in order to give up. Do not you feel we ought to attach to his brother, and they shall hunt a guard for the protection? We are safe of all the people's visits. And on February 23rd, I said, where will Doug be during all this? And then on February 24th, they said, and so it has to be. All things are changing, and those who do not. My brother, thou shalt be in danger of the judgment of the stands in order. And I said, what can I do to rectify the situation? How can I prepare to plead my case? What am I guilty of? And on February 24th, they said, 18 being to be forbidden of the sharing in the blood of the planet, is among the accused, was found guilty of any offense against the majesty of the councils, as well as a criminal in the person's dimensional order of the King of Kings is, listen to me, and the danger of the destruction of the colonies of Cremona, and external to the soul, and Nicholas of Lyra, answer with the map in the physical space is ready traverse. And I said, there are many things in this message that are unclear. Please resend so I can advise. Am I not forgiven if I repent any wrongdoing against the majestic councils? Also, there are many rules that I'm not fully aware of, being a human, imperfect, living on this earth with lacking resources. And they said, there is no excuse and does not save. So I
Huh.
said, so there is nothing I can do? What will happen to me? I did not destroy the fleet or moon. I am on Earth. Please give me another chance. Please, I repent for all deeds I have done in the past. Please, in the name of the King of Kings, please hear my prayer. And they said, the crimes were documented. I understand you. All men would perish of your clones. Two of them left. And that is the last. Oh, no, no. Then there was an image. Um, I said, what is your name? Who do you serve? I have been set up. And on Thursday, February 27th, they said, we have walked before you, you traitor. But he warned, it shall be a catch to you. And it shows a picture of me with like long hair and weird shit in the background. I'm sorry for saying that word.
Yeah, it's all right.
Friday, February 28th, 2020, I said, how am I a traitor? What are those marks on the cheeks of the face? What does that mean? We have walked before you. And who warned? And what does a catch mean? And that's where we leave off on contact.
Wow.
I'm waiting on those three other images, but the one bad guy of me with long hair, it
Hmm.
shows like markings on my cheeks and chin.
Right.
It's in a circle and it looks very demonic looking. Um, and and when I get them in, I'll share them with you. It should be in the mail actually tomorrow. It should be here. Because what I do is my process when I get contact, I screenshot, I update the calendar, and then I go ahead and I print off the images. If there's any images, then I have to decode if it's in binary, Morse, or Latin
Hmm.
to English. And then I have to code it into my book, my manuscript, and then I have to uh, put it all into order. But so that's the reason why I contacted you and Dr. Sala and a few others because of um, the intensity of the accusations and of things. Because the moon base, when you see it, it looks like the Grand Canyon was blown out of this moon, and
Wow.
it looks like for sure like many have died. Um, and when you see it, like I want to feel heartbroken, but then I'm
Hmm.
like, was it the good guys? Was it the bad guys? I don't
Right.
know, but someone was obliterated, and
Hmm.
somehow I'm at fault for it, and I don't know how to repent, or I don't know how to like say I'm
But how do you
sorry.
know? How do you know who you're talking to at that point? I mean,
Well,
it
so
could be a
that's the
mirage. You know what I'm saying?
but
It could be
but
the
that's the
bad guys talking to you.
well that's the
So.
thing. That's what I found out. That's what made me feel better because
Hmm.
you haven't seen those images yet, but the last few images that I'm about to get any day, it was the cloudy eyed ones.
Hmm.
And when I saw them, I'm like, wow, that's why when I responded, I've been set up
Yeah.
because I'm like, oh, these guys, they're not lying. They're trying to trick me
Hmm.
like I'm at fault, but it's actually them. So then I think my fleet of 18, because I supposedly because I'm a prince and this fleet of 18 that protect, they were coming here because I didn't go in August. They were actually coming. They were light warships, and they were actually coming over my house, and I was taking pictures of them. Um, they were protecting me, and they protected that asteroid that was going to hit the Earth. I think the bad guys were flipping it around like, see, you're the bad guy because um, you blew up the fleet and you blew up this colony, but meanwhile, that didn't happen. I had
Right.
nothing to do with that because they're the fallen ones of the dark side, and they're the insectoids working with the reptilians, working with the. So that's what I've been dealing with. But now we're going into the spring, and now I should be getting Lyran contact soon to confirm, like, hey, don't worry about all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
You're okay. Yeah.
it's so much information, dude. I'm
Sure.
sorry, but like
No,
that,
that's
it's just stuff. And then when you hear like Corey Good or whoever, and you're like, what's going on? So I dropped my phone. So like that's why it's like hard, because like a lot of stuff people don't match up with what I have, but I
right.
can only go with what I get. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And based on the telecommunication and the people that I've investigated in my stuff, it's like someone would have to spend millions of dollars consistently for, almost a decade of messing with me to be able to be on that kind of a level with
Sure.
images and everything else. So it's like, I know that's not happening.
Right. Right. Wow. That's awesome.
I don't know. Do you have any questions? I mean, like I've been rambling, so like.
Oh no, you've been doing good, guy. You really have, and I'm happy, and I'm glad, but I'm also scared for you. I mean, but I'm glad you brought it to us, and and you're talking about it. I think that's awesome. The thing is I just hope that everything's going to be okay with you as far as that goes. I don't want to see you getting ambushed in the middle of the night or some damn thing, have somebody where to be listening or whatever.
So what I've figured is that, like, honestly, with the amount of documentation that I have, I've had many low, weird, like I said, I have proof of intelligence making contact with me. Israel, China, Russia, America. I have it on. I have the proof. But like I said, I told my best friend Doug, I'm like, they haven't done anything, which means that they know that I'm getting this for real. That they have decided that, like, let's just see what
he
they're
does.
getting. Yeah, they're getting intel off of me or what I get.
Right.
So like if it dries up, that maybe they'll do me in. But
well, here's the thing though, or you would think that if they knew that you were getting this kind of intel, that they would bring you in and try to find out what it is that they can find out, whether it's good for them or bad for them. You know what I mean?
I think with their technology because I think a lot of stuff, like, they're 50 to 100 years ahead of what we know. I think they collect everything, and it's like a movie or a show. They already know enough they're just letting it go. Because
no, I mean our guys here. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm really surprised our guys haven't snatched me up.
Yeah.
And I've gotten contact. I actually have it in my book where it says, we are greetings. I'm just doing off verbatim off the top of my head without opening the book, but they said, greetings, we're not the authorities, but we are heavily interested in your pie theory and your information that you have received, and we would be grateful to get, and we would grandly reward you if you gave us this information based upon your 1111 blah blah. But like what I took from that was like
they're intercepting your cell phone calls. Yeah.
They know that I'm getting contact. I'm getting ping, and we've even researched the pings to be correlating with when science and NASA has saying the gray satellites. There was
Hmm.
these satellites called the gray satellites 1 and 2. They were getting pings, and they didn't understand why they were getting these transmission pings, but they
Mm.
were matching with the times that I got contact for those time
Huh.
frames on the pings. It's in my
Wow.
book. Yeah, man.
That's
It's crazy.
crazy.
Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah, because you got to be careful with that, especially with the cell towers and stuff, because you know that, uh, like if the cops catch somebody or something like that, and then they can take their cell phones and they'll call the phone company who they belong to, and they can go back, get every single text message, every single phone call, I mean, it's amazing what they have in storage and why people are storing this and where is it being stored, you know, it's just totally ridiculous.
I'm at a
But
point where I don't have any fear because if I am who they say I am,
mhm, you're
I
protected. Yeah.
I'm not only protected, but like, hey, here's all my documented information. I
Yeah.
didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
This is what I've received, and it's not my fault. Like, this is who I am. So, like,
Mhm.
I should
Yeah.
have some kind of diplomatic immunity, like of intergalactic level of like who I am. I
Yeah.
am on the earth, and I've been frightened for a long time of like disclosing information until I was told recently that I need to disclose the information that I do have. So
Hmm.
then I'm like, okay, so then they want me to talk about it. So
Right.
now I'm reaching out to like you and Dr. Sala and others
Well, I'm
of
happy
like,
you are, no doubt about it. I'm just fearful. That's all. But I'm glad you're doing it. No doubt about it.
you know what's so weird after being doing this for so long? I I used to be scared in the beginning, but I'm
Hmm.
like, even if they came down and were like in my face, I'm like so used to like having contact that like I feel like I could have a conversation in somewhat or some form and of who I am to be
Hmm.
able to be I'm not because I know that I have ones that are watching out for me. Literally ships that fly over my home that
Right.
are hover that I know that like they're here to defend me because I'm a prince. If
Hmm.
they say because they say I'm a prince,
Right.
that why would I be fearful of I didn't do anything. Even if you kill my body, my soul has to go to the judgment in the council of the Iridian Council. So like the Majestic Council, like I have to like you can't you can't distinguish or extinguish something that is what it is. So like
Right.
if what they say is true, then what do I have to fear other than the King of Kings and
Hmm.
maybe my miscommunication as a human saying stupid stuff like, what does this mean this or what do you know, because I
Right.
don't know. I don't,
Yeah.
all I can do go is off of what they tell me.
Hmm. Wow.
I know, man, this is a lot of information tonight, but
Well, yeah, it is, but some of it makes sense, even though some doesn't. But I mean, that's part for the course. We're only human, like you said, body wise. So it's just, I'll go through this show a few times, and I'll stop it and I'll look at some of your stuff. Obviously, I'm sure a lot of other people will too, and we'll try to decipher some of this, if we can. Who knows? Maybe somebody out there will see them symbols and say, "Hey, I know what that means," or who knows? You know what I'm saying?
I
You know,
hope so because
so that'd be
like
cool.
I have to do all my research and all my stuff on my own because
Right.
even with the people who are close to me that believe, and know that I'm getting this stuff,
Hmm.
it's totally alien to them. And to me, I'm like, oh no, this is because of I have my theory. I could be wrong with things, but
Yeah,
I can only go off of what I've been told,
sure.
and some of the bad guys could be lying to me,
Yeah.
but this is what I have.
Hmm.
What am I supposed to do?
Wow.
Other than continue off the data. And I always tell Doug, I say, listen, the more data that I get, the more I understand the picture where I can, like, I figured out the windows of time of between spring and summer and winter and fall and
Hmm.
who and what and constellations. Like, I've gotten contact from Vega,
Hmm.
Altinic, Betelgeuse, um, Ursa Major, Ursa Minor, the um, um, elk, uh, elk. What do they call that?
Hmm.
Uh, the elk. It's in my writings. It's elk something, and um, Venus, Mars, um,
Hmm.
the moon,
Wow.
um, Earth, of course, um, Saturn, Jupiter,
Hmm.
uh, uh, yeah, Betelgeuse, Vega, Altinic, uh, um, 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 what was the name of that water world? It's in my writings. It's called. Hold on, give me a second. So I don't have to go look it up. It's a water world. It's called the Iridian Council, the Council of 12, the Council of 11, the Majestic Council, the um, uh,
That's
I.
okay.
That's all right. I'm just
Yeah,
trying to, off the top of my head, just trying to
that's all
remember.
right. You did good. Wow, that's
But
a lot,
but
though. That's a lot of information. Man, oh man.
but
Whew.
yeah, there's a lot of guys, a lot of good and a lot of bad. But uh, but we should do another show.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely. Absolutely. I was just going to say, we got to set up another one so we can bring you in and, we can get a little bit further in depth or whatever, or, especially if you get newer messages from now on and stuff, keep us posted and updated on stuff.
yeah,
Uh,
it's been a week and a half since my
mhm.
last contact, and I was like, I actually told my wife, I said, shoot, since we've gone into the new house, you think they're gonna know where I'm at?
I'm
And
sure.
then a few nights ago, I was taking the kids, getting the kids up, getting ready for school, and I go outside, and then I saw a ship go right over the house and hover, and then take off, and I'm like, yep, they know where I'm at.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, I believe that. I believe that 100%. Yeah, no matter where I've gone in my life, they've always known where I was, one way or the other. So you can't hide.
Isn't
Yeah.
isn't this crazy? I mean,
Well, I mean, to the average person, yeah. But for those of us that have had contact, one form or another in that, um, it's not so crazy. It's just you're getting more of an in-depth deal than I am, or anybody else as far as that goes. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
what concerned me the most, and the reason why I reached out before I end this is like they told me like I I'm gonna be pleading in front of a galact. The weirdest thing is like I have certain gifts and Doug has certain gifts. Like I have gifts where I can read people and I can I feel certain things and stuff, and Doug can he gets different things. But I said that my main thing was like I'm guilty of something I didn't do,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like I'm being framed and set up. But he had a vision many months ago of it was like tiered and was like above us, and every level above us was like angelic kind of beings
Hmm.
all the way up to the center, and it was like a court. And this is before I got the I would have to plead my case within 10 years.
Right.
And like I have to like I'm being it's almost like I'm being framed for a crime I didn't commit, for the 18 fleet that was wiped out. and
Mm.
uh and
If they
but
were
anyway,
wiped out, yeah. If they were wiped out, you're not even for
if
sure. You
yeah, we're
know,
not even for
you
sure.
may find out there's nothing wrong. You know,
Yeah,
so
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
um
So
but
wow.
but anyways, so I think this is probably a good ending spot.
Yes,
um
yes. Almost
um
3 hours, bud. We've been going at this, so it's time flies
three
when you're
hours
time
wow.
flies when the information flows, man.
But I
Yeah,
have so much more to share with you.
sure, absolutely,
But I
awesome.
think this is a lot to absorb for anyone who's watching.
Yes, yeah.
And I would not. I'm just gonna say this. I would not waste my time or effort or energy
Hmm.
if this anything that I thought was not legit. It is what it is. But peace and love for everybody, and like we'll do this again, and we'll go into more depth. But
Yes.
this is if you have any final questions for me, go ahead. Other than that, want to go ahead and wrap this up.
Yeah, I see a
It's
few
a
of them
lot.
have left. Some of them, their batteries wore out on their phones and that because they're all been listening so long and they're just into it, and texting and doing all kind of crazy stuff here. So, yeah, anybody out there in the audience have anything they would like to ask? Uh, Vita did ask one question earlier. She says, "Are they dimensional forms?"
Yeah, so my understanding for that question is there are multiple dimensional forms, multiple dimensional races,
Hmm.
um, and that timelines can be altered, um, based upon whatever is or isn't or done.
Right.
Um, but any other question?
No,
Um,
actually, we're
I'm an
getting a lot
open
of
book.
thank you. Getting a lot of thank you for the information. Great night. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Looking forward to more. Theresa says totally informative. Uh, yeah. So, yeah, people are really tuned in, man. So, yeah, good
People are really
stuff.
tuned in. Good. That's
Yeah,
great.
absolutely. Well, and it was mentioned earlier. I didn't actually say anything about it, but VJ made the comment that perhaps that this form that I have, this show, uh, is the show that brings this kind of things out to people. Maybe we're all supposed to be together. This is why I do this show. Maybe this is all part of the plan. Maybe I am your outlet. You know what I'm saying?
I
Something of that
agree.
nature. So, it's very, very possible. So, yeah, but we'll keep it going regardless. I love it. Good stuff.
No, no, I agree, and I think that everything is for a purpose. And you know, guys, just be mindful of the only thing I could say before I get off of here is be mindful of what you say.
Hmm.
Be mindful of what you think,
Mm,
and what you do, because everything is recorded forever. And
right.
there is a galactic court. You may get through this earth and this and that, but there is a judgment.
Yeah.
uh, and you know what, take it as what it is, but it is I believe it because
Makes sense. Yep, surely
there's,
does.
there's a
Surely
lot,
does.
but we can go over more of this. There's a lot to touch into this night. But
Yeah,
I have so many more images, so many more contact information,
cool.
in a lot of different races. So, like, if you're interested in the Anunnaki, or you're interested in the Pleiadians, or
Mm-hmm.
you're interested in the Lyrans, or whoever, I can
Right.
tell you whatever information that I did or have received.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. But
Cool.
other than that, I'm gonna probably get off of this because I gotta get up and take the kids to school in the
Yeah,
morning.
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, it is because it's an hour difference here. So it's almost 10 o'clock your time. So yeah, getting kind of late. Yeah.
But I really appreciate you responding back really quickly. I will have to say to the audience that being able to personally contact, set this up, to feel, like I need to share this information, and being able to do that on this platform. If it wasn't for him, I mean, like, seriously, like, I wouldn't be able to do this, and then
uh,
I really appreciate that.
Well, I tell you, I'm sure other people, probably even Omar, I'm sure Rob Yaxmeyer and that would probably be getting a hold of you. So, I'm just a jumping off point for right now. You know what I'm saying? But I guarantee it. I mean, we got others that watch this show and stuff like that. And they listen to it and they'll be giving you a jingle. I guarantee it. You're going to be hounded, so to
I'm
speak.
not.
So,
I'm not. I'm not worried
well,
about that. I just want to be able
yeah.
to spread whatever it is that,
Hmm.
like, when I got the green light to say, like, you need to start talking about
Well, that's
this,
good.
like,
And that's, you know,
because I was scared for a while, especially
yeah.
when I got threats and of my life from
Uh,
people who are well respected in the industry, that I was
yeah.
like, oh shit, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I said shit, but
No, that's fine. You're fine.
but
We can
but
say
but
shit.
I but but I was like, oh crap, like, like,
Yeah.
I'm in trouble, like, but you know what? It is what it is. This is
Yeah.
what I got.
Right.
Um,
And
I'm
that's the way to look at it. Yeah.
I've been talked into to start publishing some of the stuff that I have. So I'm
Hmm.
looking into that aspect. Again, my goal is, I just want to share what I have, not
Yeah.
make.
Information for the world. Yeah.
If I make money off it, I make money off it. If I don't, I don't. Whatever. But,
Yeah.
like,
Hmm.
my product, I would like it professionally done, so everyone has it, because I think this is
Yeah.
like it's stated in the books, like, it's going to be a very historical.
Hey,
Um, I'm
maybe
not.
one of our new Bibles of the world, man. You know what I'm saying?
I don't
Well,
want to
I'm just
go
saying,
there.
hey, why not? I mean, think about it. We had stone tablets back in the day,
Yeah, yeah.
and
I mean, I
and
agree with you, but
you know,
I'm not that.
I
I
just
don't
put
want
that
to.
out there,
Even when they tell me I'm a prince and all this stuff,
Well, hey,
I have to be humble and be
well,
like,
sure,
who am I? I'm just a human on this planet. I'm just trying to, hey, this is what I got.
yeah,
Take
yeah,
it for whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like, unless God Himself comes and says to me, and there's no shadow of a doubt, but I
hmm,
can only go off of what I've been told. So,
sure, absolutely, nothing better than that. Alex, my friend, thank you very, very much for being here. We're definitely going to get you back
thank
on.
you.
Uh, you know, I'm sure everybody out there, the comments have just been wonderful tonight. Um, it's just totally awesome that the gathering we have, the group that we have, they just, and like I've always said in the past, and I'll still say it to this day, this is the show that we try to bring the most truthful information of any shows out there, other than people like Omar and that he does the same thing,
Yeah,
and
I
we're trying
agree.
to get away from the BS of ufology, and we're trying to bring in the true nature of what's going on out here. And you brought all of that tonight. I mean, no doubt about that.
And buddy,
So-
anytime you need to talk or you want me on,
Absolutely.
Between you, Dr. Sala, and a few others, I'll be openly available anytime, any day, just
Awesome.
because I can trust you guys, because I know that
Absolutely.
you're a good person, and
Thank you.
obviously you're getting contact. I mean, you got
Yeah, absolutely.
you,
I'm gonna
you need
be.
to record
I'm taking your
that
advice.
stuff.
Hey, I'm gonna start doing it the way you're telling me. I'll see what happens here.
Get
you know
a
what I'm saying?
blank book and do it in
Yeah.
in order. Please do that.
Absolutely.
I mean,
I'll do that.
because then you might start getting messages where it's important. Just
Yeah.
do it. I'm
I'll
telling
do it. Yeah. I'm at that point where I got to do something, So hey, and that's why you're here tonight, because you're telling me. You see what I'm saying? And so it's working. It's a win-win for me,
Yeah, I should wave my prince power.
Yeah,
but
there you
it's
go.
not.
Very good. Awesome. I love it.
But I wish I had that royalty palace, but it's not happening. But
I hear you.
But anyways, hey
Alrighty.
guys, have a good night. Listen, be positive, be mindful, and do the right thing, and be a good person.
Yeah.
And that's it. Other than that, I'll be talking with you soon. And whenever you want me on, I'll be on.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Alex. It has been one hell of a pleasure, no doubt about it. It's totally awesome.
Have a good night.
You too. Thank you. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That was Mr. Alex Tulloch. Yeah, Tulloch. I'm sorry, Alex. I did it again. Oh, Lord. Anyway. So, yes, we will absolutely be updating everybody. And just remember the name, and absolutely, Theresa. Theresa says I'm going to start logging my experiences too. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Vaida says thank you. And on and on. Absolutely, great stuff. So, without further ado, thank you all for being here this evening. It's been a heck of a good night, and my nose is starting to run again. Here I go. So much information. I'm definitely going to be rewatching my own show a few times to get some of this absorbed deeper into my brain. And, we'll be looking into other things too. But wow, just totally, totally awesome stuff. So, yeah, you heard it first here on Closer Encounters. And, I also, for the rest of you that's still here, as you know, I did change over my Spreaker platform to the news, and hopefully I'll be getting that, our first news coverage going here pretty quick. I wanted to get it done, but it was a little bit more tedious than I thought it would be, but I finally got it. So, so when you catch that, please, if you want to subscribe to that channel, please do so. If not, you can just catch it when I post it and stuff like that. So anyway, but in the meantime, thank you all so much for being here, and we'll keep going. So I'll be back. Let's see. This is what is tonight? Is it Wednesday or Thursday? Oh my goodness, Wednesday. So I should be back. If not tomorrow night, I'll be back on Friday night, and we'll see what happens. Also, in case you missed the posting that I posted in the Ancient Alien page, our good friend that we had on our show here a week ago, Bruce Fenton, was on the last Ancient Alien show. They come from the Pleiades. He did an awesome job, so you should check that out if you guys missed that episode. So, yeah, check it out. Yeah. In the meantime, everybody have a safe day tomorrow and a good evening. And thank you all very, very much for being here. And we're going to bug on out. Well, at least we're going to try to. So, and keep your eyes to the skies, everybody. Thank you so much.